떠나는 길에 네가 내게 말했지 너는 바라는 게 너무나 많아 잠깐이라도 널 안 바라보면 머리에 불이 나버린다니까 나는 흐르려는 눈물을 참고 하려던 얘길 어렵게 누르고 그래 미안해라는 한마디로 너랑 나눈 날들 마무리했었지 달디 달고 달디 달고 달리던 밤양갱 내가 먹고 싶었던 건 달디던 밤양갱이야 떠나는
Bang, udah telat. Ye, sabar bro.
Could consider something where they pressure A, right, force the rotate to happen. You know, see B back off a little bit, pressure B a little bit more again. Or it could be the reverse, right? Just because you know that Team Secret, they've been playing a little bit more retake heavy, right? B's forces have always been there early on, outside of the pistol round. So maybe try to pressure this, force them even further away from A, dig deep into it.
Here we go. Once again, Team Secret going to be ready for this one. The fault line coming out. Jeremy is pushing aggressively, and they get flashed, but it doesn't matter. He only picks up one, and Rossi trades it back. So nice little set play here from the side of Team Secret. They are going to spot a lot of members outside of B, but Team 1 does trade back the one kill.
Yeah, I mean, this is a heroic play from Team 1 to be able to trade that back. I mean, fault line, recon, flashpoint, everything to set Jeremy up for success. You even got the double pings. He's going to survive. I believe only Jesse being attacked there. But there you go, not taking any chances, making sure that it's a 2-2 split. Now, T1, I mean, they could go anywhere, right? It's 2-2. You should have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, NDG just going to play on the site here with the cam. And he does have Borkum nearby, as he is going to be spotted there. Here comes T1, the wraparound on a Borkum, not going to be read by him. X-Great, nicely done, as Jesse just trying to buy some time with a Hunter's Fury. And it's all up to NDG to try to hold down the sights. And he is going to hit one. Not cleared out just yet, but wrapped around on by Izu from elbow.
All right, so you got a fault line. See if that recon... Don't believe that.
Jangan lupa berdiri guys, yang duduk terus guys.
But the thrash being used as well. T1's not taking any chances. You check one, and he's not doubled up. So Izu's still holding that other angle.
Oh, so clean. Picks up two on the site, and Envy gets a third. And Team Secret are strong again right after the T1 timeout.
Secret ini coy. Jangan lupa di
yeah, it's great to see Jesse being very confident in that retake again as well, right? Looked a little bit scared on Lotus, not able to really confidently take fair 1v1 duels without other util. But this time around, he knows he has to be the one to help break things open. He's the one that was spotted. Just goes for the peaks. He's ready for the second swing out. It's absolutely beautiful. And Envy, of course, always reliable on that trade. He's been a very great support on that breach every time they come to this map. And finally, Econ broken on the side of T1.
And, I mean, T1 that time around, they get onto the site, they get the plant down, but Team Secret's retake just too good. Jesse and Envy, the two of them together, get the job done. Another push out here from Team Secret towards B, towards that B main area, but as we know, T1 just trying to push a little bit more aggressively onto A a little bit earlier here.
Yeah, but it's a double peek out, and then if we see a kill come through for Envy, he's going to have that rolling thunder. So the high-low, I mean, this could buy them a lot of time. They're not even concerned about the site. Let the spike be planted. We're here for the round win. And Envy gets it, rolling thunder online. He's going to wait for the retake. Once backup arrives, as long as they're holding on to elbow, fault line to make sure that they're still safe.
Trying to push onto these two guys on the back here, but Jeremy's going to get a kill, and they easily get swept up. X-Grade only getting the one. And Team Secret get an easy defuse. I mean, T1, they get in, they get one kill, they get the plant, but still a very dominant round here to Team Secret.
So something that Secret, I think, has correctly identified, and this has been true the last time T1 played this Sunset as well, is that T1 has not been playing very spread out defaults on the attack, right? They're very, I mean, the most they do is a 1-4, but even then, it's not like B main, A main. It's like mid and B or mid and A. So you can always choose to push out from one side, get the clear info, you know, if there is contact, maybe you back off, and then you can rotate accordingly. And T1 can't actually accurately read this because they haven't really been notified until it's too late, right? I mean, sure, you can deduce it just because of the rotation speed,
Ntar
but
atur
you don't
cam
know
dulu
exactly
guys.
how far they've been pushing out. All you know is they've never really crossed that trap wire over by B main lobby.
Yeah, now, I mean, T1 are able to buy up, but Team Secret have 4 ultimates ready to go. So the second they try to push a spot, Envy's going to be ready with a Rolling Thunder, or they could look for a retake with that, obviously.
And this is that mid setup as well. You get any noise over in mid. If that trip gets hit, it could be the showstopper flying out from mid off of that fault line. And T1, they were holding just in case it was, you know, something like a tiles push or B main push with that showstopper. But like you said, Valdez, I mean, so many ults, so many rounds ahead, they could just play for a retake. Team Secret feels no pressure at the moment.
Yeah, especially because the retakes have been so clean, and it feels like the timings are really nice as well. Like Jeremy pushing out of the smoke at the exact right time as T1 are trying to clear out elbow. Just getting so much value, and yeah, it's been very clean stuff from the side of Team Secret. Good to see
Nah,
the comfort
aduh,
as
ndok.
NDG sees the barrel and sees a kill as well as
Aduh si
Girl
endok-endok
Beth
gini
just to
guys.
see the rest of the side of T1 as they are going to push onto this B site, but NDG gets the tag and now just cleaning everybody out. Even
Wah,
committing to
gila
the showstopper. It's a 4K for
diobok-obok,
NDG.
airnya
Nobody can take him out,
diobok-obok.
and it is flawless.
Nanti
T1 also
ikannya
buying on that
lebih
round.
pada
Team
mabok.
Secret are just sleeping up here.
Dingin-dingin.
Yeah, this is
Dimandiin.
brutal. This is absolutely brutal. I would say even more so than it felt for Secret on Lotus. I mean, it just feels like T1, they're not even a step behind. They're just absolutely getting read like a book. It just has no words in it, right? It's just a blank page, and Secret's like, all right, done. We've read through it all.
Hilang.
And NDG, he has been able to play so calmly. I mean, he gets paranoid, and he still knows his cam hasn't been, so he still gets vision through that, knows he's not in danger, doesn't panic. Very, very good anchor.
Yeah, that felt like the most comfortable Cypher replay I've ever seen. He's like, yeah, I'm just chilling on the back of the site. I know where everybody is.
Yep.
Like, I have all the information. Nobody can take me out. Hits his shots and makes it look easy. Here
Camnya
comes
bagus
a
banget ini.
relatively fast
Ketahuan
push from
gitu,
the side
Cok.
of T1, but Jesse's right there as the blind comes through as well. And these T1 pushes are just looking flimsy right now as Rossi is going to take down 2. But he has 5 health and a dream.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Rolling Thunder still as well, and if I'm Team Secret, I mean, I would consider using this, right? You might as well. You're so far ahead. You've got other ults cycling back. So, absolutely securing that round win seems good. The flash, it just clears in time, and Jeremy's able to get the kill. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Bang
I mean,
Escura,
Rossi's
Cok.
getting a lot
Wah,
of
ente
value
dah.
out of this round himself, but it's still not going to be a round win. Team Secret make quick work of that one, and they hold on to the Rolling Thunder.
Yep.
Just in case any future round looks a little bit closer than what we've seen so far, which hasn't been very close.
Yeah, it hasn't been very rocky. I mean, maybe that 2-man retake with Envy and Jesse, that was the one that felt like it was a decent post plant from T1, things like that. But outside of it, and of course, you know, the 1-round win coming in from T1, we haven't really felt like Team Secret were flustered. You know, there weren't any rounds where you think in the back of your mind, is there a timeout coming, anything like that? And now T1, it's a no command, it's a group up. And Secret, do they have the hard read on this? I mean, you have Envy sitting pretty far back for that fault line on A, so they're very well aware of this. You know, NDG still all the way back by Boba. There's a ping on it for T1, so they're aware of it. So you make sure the no command hits. You make sure he's in range.
Showstopper as well, just trying to clear out the site, but it has been abandoned quite a while
Aduh,
ago.
nggak ada orang,
Team
Cok, di
Secret,
ulti.
NDD trying to hold this angle. He gets one.
Nice, nice.
Zippy trying to get in there as well.
Gede,
He
Ju.
picks up a 2K.
Ih, ketahuan harusnya.
Now a chance finally for T1 to try to hold on to a site after the plant.
So Jesse's looking to
Itu
just
Bimena
draw
nggak ada.
more
Oh,
aggro
ngepush ini dulu
so
kah?
his teammates can get him to the site. It would have been great if he could stay alive, but now it's up to Borkum. So that's going to be it. T1, we'll wrap it up. I mean, sure, Secret got the read. But the
Gue
no command
84.
still in range, the paranoia as well to continue to push through, showstopper, everything. They knew exactly what their win conditions were.
Yeah, they absolutely did. So let's take a look at this replay. Swing coming out here from the side of Izu. Picks up 2, makes it 3. And they easily clear up that side. Still not feeling very happy at the moment after losing a bunch of rounds in a row, but at least T1 finally kind of get the jitters out and get another round. Making their presence felt finally on this map. Here comes Jeremy. Pushing out of mid.
Oh, that fake works out perfectly. The spam. Sire's there for the trade, but the spam through the smoke catches Xcurit off guard entirely. So now without the Cypher,
Sumpah,
T1, their flank is open.
Bang
They saw the
Xcurit
trap bar was
sial
broken
banget
earlier
guys
as
dari
well, so
tadi
they
guys.
have no idea. If they wanted to go B, they'd have to re-clear it now, so they have to push in with the Thrash.
Matinya kayak gitu terus
Oh, the
coy.
Rolling Thunder. I mean, Secret knows
Kayak
that they
nggak
don't really
mungkin
have other
ada.
options. He just want to deny the Thrash more than anything.
Jadi nggak dicek.
Well, they're only going to trade 1-for-1, and Jesse is not cleared out in the corner. Rossi barely going to take him down.
Gila. Jesse
Go
first.
down first. Now 1v2. Rossi does get
Nice.
another headshot. He has been
1v1, 1v1.
today.
Ayo 84 lah, 84
He's
bro.
going to make it a 1v1 scenario. Has enough time to rotate over to B as well.
Oh, it should have never come to this for Secret. I mean, even just denying that Thrash cooldown would have made it so difficult for T1, and it was a good Rolling Thunder in my opinion, but Rossi, he's had some incredible clutches so far for T1 after joining the team, starting even with the offseason. He's just going to stick the plan. It's a full 50-50 mind game on the wraparound, and he's just going to leave it.
Masih ada flash. Aduh, musuhnya juga ada flash
He
juga
was able
coy.
to hear the plant. He gets the rotation on time. He has a lot of time to try to clear out every angle. Maybe get an early tap on the spike, see if he can bait Rossi out. But Rossi's playing very far back here in B main.
Oh, and with this, Envy might just start to think that he might be rocking. Envy's going to push all of this?
Itu dia Envy. Push terus.
Rossi, he had two angles to look at. He still checks the same the correct one, but I can't believe
Gila,
it.
Cok, mau ngapain dia, Cok?
Out either.
Yeah, he pushed all the way through. No tap on the spike. He gives Rossi an opportunity to be looking the right way at the right time. And it's kind of a unfortunate round for Team Secret, but a very nice clutch here from Rossi.
I got us, boys. Don't worry. I got us. Don't worry.
Well, he's picked up a couple of rounds, making
for sure.
things interesting.
Yeah, keeps it a little bit competitive here. If they can get up to 4, it's not too bad. Again, same situation as Secret back on Lotus, considering how things started.
T1 are already on the site here as
Allah,
Fury
di ulti, Cok.
gonna get some tags, but some nice dancing from the side of Rossi. He's not gonna be hit. NDG though, sound of neural theft and is gonna hold on to this one, and Jeremy is here as well. Not quite able to clear out NDG, and that is going to give some extra time for the rest of the team to come on over. Rossi trying to get in with a flash and a dream, but it's not gonna happen. 9-3 is the scoreline. Team Secret.
Uncle Jesse gila banget anjir,
Yeah,
Uncle.
so at the end of the day, it does seem like T1, their sunset still doesn't seem like it has a lot of options, as we see a little bit of a ceremony here from Jeremy. Just for the half, though. We're not done with the map just yet. But you gotta wonder what the defensive setups are going to be like. This Team Secret, their defense always a lot more reliable than their attack. So T1 might get away with just having simpler defaults here. And the big question remains on, those 0 points and the dizzies. Are those going to be hard tells that let Team Secret know which site they can hit?
Yeah, it's definitely a very good question. I mean, if you're looking for comfort for the side of Team Secret, as you mentioned, defense on Sunset should be kind of the exact thing you're looking for. So maybe T1, maybe the team can kind of say that, try to hype them up for the second half and give them a chance, but Team Secret have looked pretty flawless on this side. So we'll see if they can force us into a third map as well, which I believe is Breeze.
Yes.
Right? So should be pretty interesting to close it out if we do get there.
Yeah, if it goes to Breeze, I mean, a lot of people are going to be wondering, can Izu pop off once again? Because he had to pull some crazy heroics to bring a map victory against DRX for the side of T1. Meanwhile, Team Secret, they've always been okay on it, but not quite stellar, so to speak. It's always been very standard.
This is going to be a pretty critical pistol round because Team Secret get this. They get some momentum behind them, even outside of the obvious, picking up a couple of rounds to start off the half. But I think, trying to catapult yourself forward before T1 get any kind of momentum and kind of give yourself that confidence from the attacker side to put an end to this map will be huge.
Yeah, it's just going to be, looks like fault line into elbow, paranoia on the left side towards a short. Jeremy takes his pick on where he wants to dive into. Yep, there's the flash, there's the recon.
See the two of them. There's the counter.
Ooh.
Paranoia, but Izu is in a lot of trouble. He gets fault lined in the face. And Team Secret get in. Carpe does trade one back. But this push is coming in strong as they get the wraparound, and T1 are just not ready for it. That's
What
a couple
the hell?
of kills. And now Saya is going to have to pull off something huge here. And so you see a lot of low health bars on the side of Team Secret. As Xcurate tries to get around the bends, there's a couple of kills to T1, and now Impi's going to go down, and T1, they pick up 4 in a row,
quick
and
fix,
they
bro.
hold on for dear life.
I mean, this is straight up a round that sums up death by 1,000 needles for, against Team Secret. Everyone gets sprinkled damage from the pistols. No one comes out 100% health from any of these fights. And that's all Xcurate and Saya needed, the sharpshooters. They'll even just go for the headshots. They
Bentar, gua
don't
ganti
even care
headset
about
dulu
the
ya.
lower health. But it does make things a lot dicier for Secret. I mean, it looked like the
Terlalu
execute
kedap,
should have
please,
been
pakai
good.
headset
It
dulu.
looked like Secret absolutely should have had the advantage, and now we've got 5 buys on the side of T1.
Well, Saya's going to
Nice
get it
banget.
started off. Very Saya player, as you would expect. And
Yes.
that's a very nice early kill for him. Let's try to hold on to this. Jesse is pushing up mid, and down he's going to go as well to the Marshall.
Only 4 points away from the showstopper now. Oh no, he knows there's one more, he saw it! Xcurate will clean up that one, but he's
Oh.
hungry.
Stealing the ace away. I mean, T1 obviously don't care too much. Nice shot here from NDG. But now they know where he is. Okay. No, not gonna
Nice,
happen.
guys.
But he does get the one kill
Comeback
at
nih,
least.
comeback.
Gets
Man.
revenge for his teammates.
Yeah, there you go. Don't give over the flawless. But obviously on the side of T1, all you're doing is drop in the Marshall. And Saya player still got that extra ult orb with the death, so he's only 2 away. He's actually going to invest all the way up to a Vandal, it looks like. They saw the second member. That's, like you said, Val, it's just a classic Saya round. But now, with the Vandal, that's 4 rifles, right? They bought up 3 Bulldogs that previous round. And Secret, this is going to be a lot more power than they were expecting. And they even have to respect the potential push-out because it's technically a bonus round. So that 0 point, it scares him away. And T1, they can go for a pretty fast rotate as they didn't really tag much info.
Now let's see how this push goes for the side of Team Secret. Everybody about to swarm into this A site. Elbow is empty.
Yeah, it's just a free site. It's been given up by T1.
Oh, he's just going to win that. How did he manage that?
Oh, boy.
Masih
And
dapat
that's
sih.
Jeremy that goes down in that trade. I really don't know how Jeremy does not win that one. Izu is eventually going to be traded back, but now T1 given a chance. Jesse does pick up 1 kill. The spike is already planted.
2 pinged, but this could be a moment for Xcurate because he wasn't quite pinged.
Nice
Yeah,
banget.
that's the
Bonus
surprise
kah?
factor that he has.
Bonus ini, bonus cair guys, bonus
Now a
guys.
3v2.
3v2, NDG trying to hold on to the side. Borkum in the back here as in comes Saya player flying in, but Borkum is going to go down. NDG, he's got to hold on for the team, and that he will. Picks up a 3K, just barely clutching it out.
NDG, he has had some great moments today. Got them the early 2 rounds over back on Lotus. Gets some
Sorry
quite a
dah.
few on the defense as
Aduh,
well.
ngejinx mulu
And
gue,
he
Cuk.
gets a much needed clutch. I mean,
Maaf
that was
dah,
your
maaf
bye
dah.
round, so losing that is
Ih, apa sih?
absolutely devastating.
Beneran dong?
Good stabilization.
Beneran
I love
kalah,
that he
anjir.
doesn't hold the spray. He just says, all right, you know what? You're still flying. Just got to reset. The good jiggle as well.
Yeah, very nice timings. From the side of NDG, he has been pretty clutch for the team so far tonight. Even in the loss of that first map, had some pretty good rounds, and now picks up another one for himself. As he has been clean on the Cypher, especially from the defensive side of Sunset.
So Team Secret, right away, you know that the KO's on B, the Gecko's on A, and that's been the default so far from T1. But last round, A site was entirely left open for the retake. So Team Secret, they're trying to punish that setup a bit extra as well, right? Make sure that the default can't be as stable from T1 by pushing up mid.
Carpe is going to be pushed out of that spot. Bit of pressure up on mid, but not really committing to one side just yet. Dagger comes through, spots Jeremy still there. T1 just very much on their hind heels, waiting for Team Secret to make the first move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Secret's going to feel great about going to A here just because you saw that the KO was pulled out from B site for that 0 point, but they are just going to deathball it for sure. That's not expected at all. Oh, no.
He's just going to hold it. He's just waiting. And now he's getting out there, but he does not check the left. And that is going to punish him big time. Borkum takes him down. Now a chance here for Team Secret. They get the neural theft out. Carpe's got to push through a million smokes. They are going to hold on to the site as well as they possibly can as Excurrent gets the fadeaway, picks up a second, and Team 1, the rest of them just on the site. There are so many smokes. Envy has to pull off a miracle.
Aduh mahal lagi guys. Enggak deh, nggak mahal deh.
Oh, that's massive. I mean, Saya going down, it's unfortunate, but he gets the job done of holding on to time, and the wingman sent out by Carpe actually buys so much time and gets information, even gets to stun through. I believe it was against Jesse Vash. But most importantly, Excurate, 2 clean double kills, and that allows everyone else to just flood the site under the smokes. The crossfire is all already set up, because you know that it's just coming in from one side. And now economy broken for Team Secret. I mean, sure, you had a massive lead, but you're nowhere close to map point just yet.
Yeah. You need 3 rounds, and the rounds have not been easy after this half for the side of Team Secret. They've only picked up 1. It's now aggressive. Comes Saya player, and he's in a bit of trouble. Just going to be chased down, but Excurrent's right there.
No.
This guy has been such a team player. And he is going to hold on for saving his teammate's life. So we'll be able to get this plant down, Team Secret, at least. But that's a kill from the side of Envy as well. Rolling Thunder onto the back of the site, and now they can push and clear it out. Team Secret looking to hold on to this one. Uh-oh.
Yeah, good aftershock to push him back. You've got rifle upgrades on the side of Secret as well. That's one side. Envy just has to try to hang on for as long as possible.
Spray coming out. See this guy on the right.
Iju,
1 HP. T1. The 1 stands for T1 Izu with 1 health, barely holding on to that one. Team Secret made that really interesting. Nearly pulled off at the Rifty. But T1 will not go down quietly.
Dude, what is that last shot by Izu? This is the thing. You put him on some of these comfort agents that he's picked up on his roll swap. That swing around. I mean, sure, yeah, you might be suspecting it because you're only seeing 1, but and then he puts up rounds like that. And that could be another clutch where T1 think, all right, momentum's back in our pocket. They're feeling confident enough that a push might be coming out. It looks like a pop flash setup here for Saya player. And that it is. The Dizzy chases him all the way as well.
Yeah, that's certainly going to push them back.
Lagi ulti, ada musuh.
Very, very far. But a decent amount committed to just get them out of position. Team Secret just chilling, just waiting. Not going to go for a push just yet.
Yeah, they had to use their fault line just to stay alive, which does mean that T1, they know that a hard execute can't happen anytime soon. You're even hearing the early drone. That's a lot of early util drawn out from Team Secret because of your push out, because the reclears have to happen. So now it's a slower round guaranteed. And look at this triple setup.
Well, they're trying to push out. Saya is going to trade that one back. But got pretty dangerous there at tiles. Just a 1-for-1. Rossi for Envy, so no fault line at all for the rest of the round.
And he just backs up. He knows the crossfire is here. Saya is actually just trying to draw attention.
Aduh, kena satchel
Doesn't quite
anjir.
work out. Jeremy's fast with it. I mean, this was meant to be a hold by Izu, no matter what happened to Saya.
Oh, nice read here from Carpe. Looking for the second man, and now he's got Thrash as well. Gonna get a lot of attention away as X-Ray picks up a Guardian kill.
You did not, Borkum. I mean, he just left Jesse to die, man. He was practically waiting for him to die to pick this up, but it is the only wild card they had left.
Yeah. Just got to try to send it. Borkum has been clutch in the past. Today, it's been a little bit hit or miss. Nice timing here. He hears them running in.
Aduh, ada paranoia lagi dia.
Oh, the Thrash.
Oh, ada Thrash.
Well,
the half is done. Oh,
kena. Anjir, balik lagi. Ikan cupang aja.
And it comes out.
That's just,
Itu dia, kekep. Itu dia, kekep.
I mean, they were already mounted. mounting a huge
Itu dia Bang
comeback, but
Exkuret,
now you get
ya dipisau aja.
clipped by the edge of the thrash. The timing looked good for Borkum, but instead he just gets basically just. Oh man.
I mean, he just
That's
gets,
rough.
yeah, wrapped
Gila,
around
tumben
on the
dipisau,
quick
Cok.
U-turn on the thrash.
Biasanya respect,
McCartney,
relax.
he's been taking his driving lessons with that fish.
One enemy
Oh
remaining.
gitu sih.
Yeah, he just sees him. Target acquired, he says. Excuret laughing. We haven't seen that in a long time because it's been an absolutely stressful stage for T1. But they are looking happy. It feels like they're happy with
Udah
what
2-0 nggak
coming
sih?
out on stage.
Cepatkan Paper
You
Rex,
can
bro.
see the nerves starting to get to Secret. I don't think I've seen Warbirds look that worried in a long time, win or lose.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? The first map was rough. They didn't look like they were playing the way they should have prepared for that Lotus. And then you come into this map and things are just going so well. I mean, it was basically they were just streaming flying colors and T1 had no chance. They were looking totally down in the dirt. It was 8-1 at one point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, a little bit of a comeback begins from the side of T1. They get a pistol round as well, a couple of rounds, and then all of a sudden the team of Team Secret is falling apart a bit.
Yeah, I mean, technically on paper, this is another round you're supposed to lose, so that's a 10-9. The past two rounds, absolutely just morale crushing for Secret. So T1, all the momentum, both in and out of the game, on their side, and that's given them the freedom to absolutely change up their defaults as well.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to leave mid open now.
If I'm August, I would just say, okay, you guys are doing well, but don't get
Mati
too
dong, Jeremy.
crazy with it as, okay, it is going to be a trade at the end of the day, but that Saya player taking down Jeremy and a showstopper, only getting a 1-for-1.
Yeah, but that showstopper not able to staying alive. That means market control not given over. So this B hit doesn't feel that great. You're scouting with the drone, but you don't have any smokes to cover market. So yeah, you're gonna have to use that shrouded step. But the spike still not quite here. Cyber Cage finally gives them a little bit of closure.
Yeah. He's going to
Nice.
give it this timing out of Isu as the
Wait,
plan is coming down. That's great. Not great, though, as Team
wait,
Secret
Rossi,
are
what
holding
the?
out of the site. T1 getting in melee range and Carpet can't get through
Realistika?
the utility, and that is going to be a round win for the side of Team Secret.
Oh, apaan itu anjir?
Very, very fast backup right around the pillar. That's
Guys,
all
masalah
it
ini
was,
knock
right?
out run,
'Cause
guys.
Isu,
Kalau
great
kalah
timing
langsung
there,
pulang,
but
cuy.
You know
Ngeri
that you
banget
have
ya.
the stinger. It's close range.
Nggak ada
Jesse
lower
Nash goes for the
bracketnya
running
ini.
gun, and then the immediate swing out for the trade from his teammates. The calls are clean on that round. That's all there is to it, because everyone on both teams knew
Remaining.
what Secret had to do. You had to go into B, you had to creep in. The Cyber Cage meant that you were already in the site. It was just a pure firefight.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
Nggak hancur tuh kamera.
the day hasn't ended just yet.
Aduh,
Saya
salah
trying to
read
get in there, trying to
lagi.
get aggressive to see if they were going to push into tiles. It does not happen. And now the showstopper doesn't get any value.
Aduh,
So
sayang
Team Secret just
banget
waiting.
ultinya.
They can play it slow from here.
But it sends Izu up very
At
far
least
out.
buat-
Unfortunate that he only has a classic, as their econ's now finally been
At
broken
least buat
again on
ngeplan
the side
aja
of
nggak sih?
T1.
Tadi buat
Zach could
pas
have been in
pada
a position to
ngeplan.
hold with a different weapon, maybe even something
Baru
like a
ngerti.
Spectre. But
Nah,
now
gitu
too
ya?
many angles,
Maaf
too much
dah.
range. He's gonna have to respect it. Oh, and Secret, very okay. So any area that the showstopper could have cleared, they want to re-clear.
Belum-
Right? They
masa
want to
belum
make
dapat
sure
info,
no
Cok?
lurks.
Gambling-
Doesn't matter. The
gambling
range
tadi.
open. Doesn't matter who it is. You just want to make sure that nobody's here. But during all of this, Saya has now lurked on out to B main. It allows
boy.
everybody to rotate. I mean, the read on the map is perfect from T1.
It absolutely is, and I mean, he's going to be way behind them. Team
Lihat
Secret forced to
sayanya,
push
lihat.
on an A, but T1 are just ready for it. They don't quite have the firepower, but let's
Ih,
see.
ih, low banget itu rasanya.
Spams through the smoke, gonna get
Rasa
some really
lewat.
nice damage on the
30
Jeremy
seconds left.
already.
Aduh,
I
elbownya
mean,
guys.
Team Secret, they could rotate still if they wanted to fight the lone man behind. Use that trap wire with no command as well.
Next here with the Guardian, he's got so much help as well. T1 just
nice mark.
easily cleaning them up as Team Secret. Borkum, he's reloading.
Oh my.
Oh, and he's not going to get it done. Just gets
GG.
shot in the head by the classic. A thrifty coming out from T1
GG
now.
bro.
It,
Ya nggak
it
keburu.
almost feels like Secret second-guessed themselves. And the Desk talked about this. We saw that on Lotus as well. So you see the trap being broken over by B. and you know, okay, somebody's pushed out. You don't know how many, so obviously that's the scary part. And you're thinking, you got to imagine the logic here is, it's a thrifty, so it's got to be multiple people. So A's got to
Lu
be
lihat
weak.
hampir mati lagi,
So you
Cok.
start to
Kena
think
timing,
the
Cok.
moment you hit a wall, right, with the smokes
Koko
and the
expirat
classic
aja,
spams, you're thinking, well, do we go in? Do we not? Do we have to wait for util?
Tuh.
Running out of time, you don't know how close the flank is.
Ci
The
Adel nonton
panic
nggak ya,
just
Ci Adel?
gets to him.
Ci Adel kan
Yeah,
streamer
they
T1.
did not
Nonton apa
handle
sih ya?
that situation very well, and T1 are right back on the board. But Team Secret still in the lead. Let's see if they can close this one out and give themselves a second life on that next map, or if T1 is just going to close it out.
Iya,
A lot
nonton
of
ya.
utility being used here towards B. I mean, T1 should expect a bit of a push at this point, but Team Secret are certainly taking their time. They might not even commit to it.
Yeah, so Secret now trying to play with the clock a bit more. You know, not being able to actually get into B. So they still see the 0 point over by B. You know that it hasn't been a rotate out, and there hasn't been any strong push out of A either. So overall map control still in favor of Secret, but that spy cam, you have no idea that that's covering so much info over by A main.
Saya.
Borkum has no idea.
He's going to get the wraparound here. Borkum is just not looking the right way. That's a free kill for him.
Nice
And now, expecting more, but there's nobody else there. The push is actually coming into
Aduh,
A.
Sting. Aduh.
And Team Secret take 2 for 1 in that trade, so they might be able to get this plant down. But the rotation is coming in from T1.
Stinger
I love the
sekarang
flashback back
gila
in
aja
by
Stinger
Jeremy.
sekarang, Cok.
You just have to stay alive until NDG gets here. Then it's a fair 3v3. Rolling Thunder to push out as well right before the 0 point. It does hit 2 people.
Are
The
they
pop
Ih,
flash!
bagus banget
Oh
flashnya.
my
Ih,
God,
bagus banget itu
Rossi!
flashnya
That
Rossi.
pop flash just
Ih,
saved
cantik,
everybody's
bro.
life back there.
Enak gitu ya orang-orang kayak Rossi
And
di
now
ranked enak banget
50G is
gitu, guys.
alone. He's not going to hold on to it in T1. They're playing with the hearts of Team Secret. and
Udah
they're
flash
staying in this
Gecko,
one.
flash Rossi, Cok.
Oh, what an absolute. That's the true curveball. Get Phoenix out of here because you don't expect that. You're stuck there. He just flashes literally everyone to stay alive.
Gila
The
bagus banget itu
decision
Rossi,
here.
Cok.
Yeah, right there.
And Saya actually quickly anti
Bagus
despite being
banget.
stunned. I mean, oh man. Holy. You gotta imagine the fear that struck Secret when they saw that flash floating through the air on that underhand. You're like, oh, well, this is over now.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a done deal. They knew everybody on T1 had rotated over. They used the Rolling Thunder. T1 is in such a rough spot, but then you get a dizzy in the face, and then you get a pop flash as you're trying to clear out the back of the site, and it's just, it's terrifying that they were not able to get that job done. And now Team Secret not on a buy round. Bit of a push coming through mid. And T1 just backing off, just waiting for the actual push to come in.
Yeah, but you're not expecting the backside to be filled like this. You expect it to be empty after that kind of push into market. And it's just the slightly unpredictable positioning from T1 that once again absolutely wrecks Secret. They're trying to go for the running guns. They wanted to push into the side
nice
and
banget.
execute it. The spray with the
Nice
Vandal leaves just
Nice
Jesse
banget,
all
Bang Execute.
alone.
Yeah, you could tell he had no idea they were going to be there. And, you know, didn't have the firepower to take him out immediately. Gives a chance to execute it, and he gets the job done. So now T1, they tie it up. Remember, this map was 8-1 in favor of Team Secret.
Yes.
8 rounds to 1.
I mean, regardless of sides, et cetera, I mean, this has been an absolute comeback so far from T1. Obviously, we have to wait and see if they can close it out. The second timeout now being used before it's too late by Coach Warbirds. Of course, the new assistant coach on the side of Secret, Dummy as well. See if they can make the magic happen. Because I think all the prep that you've done, it's out the window, right? T1 CFOs have been very different from what we've seen in the past. We only had one piece of tape anyway, so it's not going to apply for too long. You have to figure out the reads from here on out, but it's not like T1's been using the same default util every round, right? The 0 points, the dizzies, they've been coming out at different positions, different timings. And more than anything, Excurit has been bouncing around this map with his Cypher setups. It's almost rarely been on B, actually.
Yeah.
And that's usually where you expect it. And I think that's partly what's throwing Secret off. They're trying to play so cautiously into B, and then it's just empty.
So it's empty. And it feels like slowly but surely T1 coming back in this map have made it look more like what we saw on Lotus, where Team Secret were a little bit lost and T1 were getting these very nice reads, very nice plays. And that was not good news for Team Secret on the first map. But hopefully Warpers can kind of calm them down, say, okay, it's essentially, you know, you just reset. Pretend the beginning of the map didn't happen. It's 11-11, just get 2 rounds. Just win by 2, and it's over. So just get that out of your mind mentally, play your game, and maybe they can get it back. But Saya, and that's a kill starting off for the side of T1.
Yeah, he was standing a bit wide on that box too, so a bit harder to read. Even the spray command from obscure it. And this wasn't even the hardest of reads from T1. It was a bit of a safety valve more than anything, but they were always prepped for the retake.
And here they come now. The pop blast coming out, and Rossi got to clear out the site. Not a lot of Wallace on it this round, right after Team Secret took the timeout.
And even on that retake, just look at the positioning, right? I mean, you have Saya hanging far back with the op, just saying, okay, since we're funneling into short, if they're pushing all the way through rally, I'll just hold that so we don't get wrapped around. You guys just make sure you only have to worry about 2 angles. You got 4 people, 2 and 2 split. Carpe then waits around. I mean, it's just a step-by-step retake. Perfectly done by T1. And Secret, I mean, listen, after the timeout, I don't mind the death ball into A. I think it's a good read after all the trouble you've had trying to go slow into B. But just, you know, 1 extra trap wire in the op. The op just shuts down the speed.
Yeah, Saya just in that position, gets the first kill, and takes a lot of the wind out of the sails of Team Secret's push. And now they're coming in once again. Pretty aggressively. Saya's going to get a cage in the face, and now has to get out of there after being spotted. NDG trying to push through his own cage, but he gets taken out by Izu. Picks up 2. Jesse with the Hunter's Fury going to pick up a kill. Picks up 2 himself as Carpe trades 1 for 1 on the site. A chance here for Team Secret.
Nice banget.
He hits
Nice
the
banget
shot,
Rossi bisa
and
tahu,
he has
Cok.
been so clean today.
Awareness-nya gila, Cok.
As MV is going to pick up the operator.
Catch him.
And there it is, the stack, the 2v1, and T1 pull off the comeback victory on the second map. They take today's series 2-0.
GG
Don't let it be
adik-adik.
fooled. This is an upset. Absolutely. I mean, sure, I predicted it, but I would say this is an upset because Secret has been looking quite consistent. Yes, they have weaknesses, but they've looked consistent. Their prep has always been impressive. Meanwhile, T1, they looked absolutely lost in the sauce. I mean, this... It has to be teary-eyed for T1 fans because you always knew the potential was there, but you rarely saw it, even in the match wins that they barely got throughout the stage to get here to playoffs. It always looked like you were getting by the skin of your teeth, and now you're playing some defaults, you're playing good backup, the rotations are there, the trades are good, the clutches remain. This is what people wanted to see at the beginning of the stage from T1.
What a comeback, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
From
like you
T1,
said, definitely an upset. Not the team that I think on paper should have been favored to take this one, but T1 themselves have been making some big strides in the last couple of weeks to really begin to play like we expected from this team. They finally get it done here in playoffs. They take the 2-0 victory. Let's go over to the desk to break down this series.
Oh my gosh, T1, what a comeback. There were so many rounds that were just so confusing to watch because you didn't know which way it was going to go. I lost my chair at some point back there, but this was so insane because Team Secret were doing so well on that first half.
They were. I mean, you look at the scoreline here. This first half, it was utter dominance. It was looking like another masterclass. Every single piece of util, every single read was in Secret's hands. T1, they swap over to the defender side, and William, he talked about it a little bit. He's like, Secret, they're going to have more success when it comes down to the defender side, so we need to see something a bit different from them on the attack. And oh boy, it was just a crushing defeat at the end. This is a heartbreaker for Secret.
I mean, there were so many rounds. I again, still got to credit Team Secret's defensive side. You love how Envy controls that A-side elbow, you know, so many times. It's so darn good. But yeah, there are these rounds where I don't know what happened. You know, in the second half, Borkum kind of got clipped by the edge of that Thrash. There were rounds where T1 gets good reads or, you know, good safety plan B plays that actually just kind of work out incredibly well for them. It was a 9-3 comeback, and I gotta credit, you know, Saya player. There were these rounds where he would just push out alongside B, being proactive to get so much information for the team, and X-Grid makes the best calls to bring the whole team to success.
It's just so weird because there were so many moments on the side of Team Secret, right, where you thought that, you know, they had everything planned out, and then suddenly it was just somebody would just not check one angle. It was somebody just missed some, you know, somebody was peeking, or it was so close for Team Secret. They should have had this, and that's why I think this is so painful, because I don't even think this was outstandingly great from T1. There were a lot of very messy rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think T1 overall did have good calls, but I'm right there with you. This was a lot of minor mistakes, little misreads, little just not checking this side, not doing this right, not, you know, just peeking into a site dry when you know that they have an operator on the opposite side with no escorting util whatsoever. And it all expounds and just continues to exacerbate itself over and over again and leads to this loss here for Team Secret. This is going to be one that they're going to be kicking themselves over for quite some time, because I agree. I think that T1, while they played well, I think that they had good preparation and a solid understanding about overall how Secret was going to be playing this map in particular. But a lot of these rounds were in Secret's hands, and they ultimately dropped the ball.
I'm going to need my comfort penguin here
Like-
a bit. Just like lie down here.
We should have seen through the thin veil of Asurai's prediction and known
We
that this
should
was
have.
not a prophecy. This was merely Filipino bias.
It was indeed. I also blame you a little bit because, like, you know, you have some kind of curse going on as well.
Gotta feed him adobo, and then the curse will.
Perhaps, yeah. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I can make you some adobo.
Sure. I've heard great things about your cuisine, so I'll happily try it.
No, but you know, this is really looking really good for T1, especially since, like, you know, there's a big question of, are we gonna get that big, you know, are we gonna get a big T1 presence as we head into playoffs? It looks like they are well on their way. But speaking of a big presence over here, we got some big presence going on here on the
I don't know
bronze
anymore.
area, which is now going down.
No!
And so, viewers, come up with me just a bit before we relish in the... Oh, hey, look, we're now in Diamond with our birthday boy Paper Thin over there, and the Prophet Azurai. Meanwhile, as we go over here, we have these two fine gentlemen going over to this lovely gray color at the bottom.
Oh, no.
Because it seems as though Saya got more first kills than Jeremy.
Just
By
one.
one.
I'm done. I'm done.
He's like, just
No
get it
more
out.
No, you
Secret ever
And
again. Every single time I believe in this team. Every time.
Why
Now
hast thou
I'm
forsaken
getting
us?
crushed in the match prediction and on an individual level. I'm out.
He's so done.
Unclip
He's
the
so
mic.
or not,
done. Look at this.
Stage 2, no Preds.
No Team Secret.
Ever. That is another mini game that I'd like to see. Actually, you know, there will be
Are we
one.
the first
there-
ones to hit iron?
No. Somebody was
No,
at
no.
iron
Okay,
also, like,
so
but
what?
like somebody fluctuated between.
We
these.
might be the first ones to stay there.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more of like, you know, there was a little up and down over here, but you guys are sitting comfy over here on the Iron Throne.
Wow, yeah.
That's not
Carries a lot less weight to it. I mean, good lord, look at some of these stats. I mean, the post plants for both teams are just absolutely criminal. It's, oh man, yeah. This I think this paints a fairly accurate picture for you as far as just how things went for Secret. I mean, to be able to just take away so many post plants from T1 on the defender's side was so good. But their attack, that's just things that need to be workshopped, aim that needs to be tightened up, and just decision-making that really needs to be gone over time and time again.
11 post plants, I mean, for T1. But that said, you know, if we can take a look at the next graphic as well, you know, the first kills coming through, the thrifties that T1 brought out, it was pretty darn incredible. Yes, not the cleanest rounds overall. Maybe some, you know, mistakes on Team Secret's side as well. But on the second half, the proactiveness from T1 to get some of these reads, to have some of these safety plans, or for Saya player to really push out, gain information, Rossi and timing with some of these pop flashes to really save the team, or even Izu with certain clutches. Like this is what really brought T1 over. They had some great performances, and they really just kind of brought it out again and again.
I love that you mentioned that, Quack, because I like those. I love those moments from T1 wherein they were clearly at a numbers disadvantage, but they still played very, very smartly. They still knew that there is still a chance. Let's go for that chance, like no matter how slim it is. And even if it meant like, okay, let's just throw 3 different, utilities and flashes into Jeremy's face just so that, we can get that one up on him. That was the case. And, it was those rounds that I feel like, they really did shine, and Execute really did shine on IGL.
There's also the rounds where Jeremy just swung a corner and there was an operator waiting on the opposite side. He didn't have a flash to back him up either. Yeah, go ahead, grab the penguin once again. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's unfortunate. Just walking into sites, just trying to go for a timing, trying to just get this dry peak on an angle. The punish was there time and time again. It was incredibly well done, from T1. I think overall, especially in that second half, util timings, everything like that, it was all very much on point for them.
I also love, by the way, Izu was an amazing player this entire series. I mean, like, he was not very flashy, but there were a lot of high impact kills that he was able to get, whether it was like TPs from like somewhere on, any other side on Lotus.
Some nasty clutches in there.
Exactly. That 1 HP 2v1, that was insane.
And this is what we were kind of talking about before the series began, was that we wanted to see that level up performance from him, from he and Carpe, and across both maps. Carpe overall playing very steady. I think he goes -1 on the first map, -2 here, but he's the util guy, he's the side caller guy. That's totally fine. As long as he's util in the right spots, that's all you really need from him. But then Izu, a big level up performance from him as well. I'm still so sad though that we didn't get to go over to Breeze, because I would have loved to see Izu kind of popping the way that he was, playing that Yoru again.
On that Yoru, that's a big one. I mean, we're all kind of anticipating that. Maybe that's something that they can save in their cards for the next upcoming matches. But for now, I mean, this is like great stuff from T1. Overall team effort. Izu doing a lot of, interesting stuff, unorthodox stuff at times, and the great clutches as well. It really is kind of like that hype video with Asterai casting, right, saying, Izu, T1 would not be here without you.
That is 100% true, and I like the new flavor that he brings to T1 as well. Especially since, like, he seems to be a kind of hype man for T1 too. So it's really nice. You have very serious players over there. So it's nice to see Izu bring a little bit of that energy back. But for now, unfortunately, that is it for Team Secret and for T1. Their journey continues, and I think that's so important, especially here on this specific stage. We will be leaving you with a on-stage interview with Jen and somebody from T1.
Let's go.
Gila, menang.
Tadi lu bisa lihat mereka main
Menang, bro.
ke D9 semua. Jadi Symphony of Unity-nya bagus banget.
Guys,
Dari
buka Twitter dong guys, reply tweet aku.
Antisipasi serangan dari Secret. Lu bisa lihat tadi pas dapetin Eco atau Tricky.
After their 2-0 victory against Team Secret. Now, congratulations, Excuret. You guys knocked Team Secret out. Now you advance to the next round.
Ih, kakak ini cantik banget guys. Kakak siapa ini ya?
What do you think of how today went down? It was very kind of chaotic.
Kakak siapa ini, bro?
Scoreline tells a different story, so.
I think when we played Team Secret before, our communication is so calm, even though it's like there's a lot of chaotic situation. But last time we played, but this time more like, okay, we go, okay, let's go, guys. Like more like we control the tempo and some stuff. So I think because of that way, so everyone not gonna feel like pressure, then we can like execute very well.
Gila, abang gue. Apa jadi abang kamu, bro? Abang eksisi kah? Ini cewek, ini kakak siapa guys? Jenly ya nggak salah.
For my performance, I think it slightly affect me for a while at the first, because I need to talk a lot, right? Like, can you go here? Can you guys ready? Like, I need to make everyone in the same page. That's the hardest part as the IGL. So, but after that, I'm trying to make it a balance, try to find a balance with my coach and analyze and some stuff.
Itu Talon udah masuk kah Talon? Let's go guys, Peprex versus Talon, bro.
So when it comes to who's calling what, are you making 90% of the calls, or are people
usually for example, usually I'm more like the prep and call.
Loh, dia di kiri coy. Apa? Mejanya di kiri coy.
Kevin, we cannot do this. They okay, let's go back, something like that.
Okay, so it's going smoothly, right? As we can say, we can see in the results. How's your wrist, by the way?
Oh, my weight is really good now because I attend the physical therapy a lot of times, and then I can feel right now it feels like normal, so it doesn't matter anymore. Yes.
It really showed. Today you were like on fire, so you know it's worth asking. But T1 though.
Gila sih emang comeback cuy. Dari yang awal tadi gue bilang anjir dah apa timing mulu cok. Timingnya jelek banget. Tapi nembaknya gacor guys. Cuma kayak sial gitu ya nggak. Kayak cornernya expect-nya nggak bakal ada di situ, tato-nya ada nggak dicek. Siapa yang nyangka anjir di push yang apa tuh, yang di mid yang pojok.
Okay, alright. It's the risk you gotta take, alright. Next up, Genji. So what's your mindset going into the matchup, and also how would you prep? What would the preparation look like?
Let's go nggak sih?
Really interesting to play Genji because Genji coach and head coach right now is I play with them before.
Gubernur nggak nyala udah guys.
Before games, not here. So it's really fun.
Menang Peprex.
And then of course we're gonna show you a better performance.
Alright. Congratulations once again, and best of luck against Genji.
Thank you.
And that was Accurate with the post-match interview. I'm gonna throw
Bentar,
it to short break.
bentar guys.
Don't go anywhere because
Acu mau buka WA dulu bro.
and PaperX facing off each other. So we'll see you soon.
Anjing bolong. Sengaja adem anjir baju kayak gini cok. Makanya gue pakai terus cok meskipun bolong. PaperX lawan T1 enggak, PaperX lawan TALON. PaperX lawan TALON. Iya bolong. Iya bolong, kocak bajunya. Bapak guys, adem cuy, makanya gue pakai. Yang penting keceknya enggak bro, keceknya enggak bolong bro. Yang penting nggak dongo, ngapa nggak dongo anjing. Anjir ikan polo tuh ya.
Okay, Team Secret, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Apa nih? Nih tadi kah?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose. Jam 5 mulainya bro.
立ちグループ100周年、私たちは愛する立川にかつてないワクワクや感動に出会う場所を作ってきました。そして今大きな夢の実現に挑戦しています。立川と世界を文化、芸術、スポーツでつなぐ。私たちが愛する立川を世界に愛される都市に。立川と世界をつなぐ立ちグループ。
Red Bull gives you wings.
Kemarin senjata Valo pada bug ya. Iya anjir, yang Primodium sama bundle yang baru ngebug tuh. Primodium sama bundle yang baru. Bener gak sih Primodium? Yang yang skin Raka. Udah di fix tapi dan udah di fix tadi pagi. Tadi pagi kan gue streaming ya. Gue streaming di TikTok tadi pagi. Terus apa? Pas mau play kompe lagi langsung ada patch baru, harus download dulu, habis itu baru bisa kompe lagi.
Another elimination match, and while Talon are coming off of a good win versus Team Secret, is it enough against a team like Paper Rex?
Bugnya apa sih, katanya kayak wallhack. Emang wallhack anjir, bukan kayak lagi. Emang wallhack, tapi itu kelihatan kalau lu lagi reload sama inspect ya. Reload kayak deh, lagi reload. Jadi kan ada auranya nih. Lu nanti deh gue kirim di TikTok kali ya. Gue udah kirim ke Bella waktu itu. Kayak auranya itu bikin musuh kelihatan tembus, cok. Bentar gua kirimin. Bukan kayak lagi, emang wallhack. Bedanya nggak disengaja ngebug. Bang, jangan main HP mulu. Bentar guys. Sabar.
Just because Jing is back doesn't mean it's like, okay, let's go, W Gaming all the way again. There's still a desync that happened, right? There's still time that was lost.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you pivot away and you start working, very heavily with a completely different player who has a very different play style, and then you pivot immediately back to the old play style, there's still going to be those stumbles. That's why I actually thought that Paper X
ARD player
stage than they did. They kind of peaked, had a little bit of that like re-honeymoon phase, and then kind of stumbled a little.
Tuh udah gua kirim di DM TikTok ya.
But yeah, it's gonna take some time. I think we're seeing flashes and echoes of that Paper X that did make the second place finish at Champs last year, but it hasn't all come together at the same time.
Ninja kan ninja. Ninja guys.
Squad that just nobody was able to take down in 2023. We're seeing moments of it where that comes online, and you get these classic line free.
Bercanda bro.
Something, some insane, wrist-breaking flicks, that kind of stuff. But it's not all the time. It's not as consistent. So that's what we're looking for Talon. It has been a fairly steady upward trajectory for this squad who continue to find their footing here in Stage 1.
Yeah, and I think that, the young Thai boy with a mullet, as the poster just said, is a big part of that, right? How are we feeling about Talon, especially since...
He literally ripped off a line that I said to make a sign, but I appreciate that.
You should trademark that. You should get commission for that sign.
Yeah, I get a percentage of the capsule sales.
Yeah. You are invested now. You are invested now.
Hey, I'll start showing for Talon.
The Talons, and then they'll pay you to, no, don't predict for us, because they might lose them. Talon, they look incredibly good. I feel like this is a team that, you've got Jit Boys. He is pretty much the best player on the team, although you might also think that Governor and Ben are right up there with him. They are incredibly strong and very capable of things, sometimes a little bit wild. That's the only thing. Sometimes you might have Ben looking for an opening kill, or Governor being incredibly aggressive, just dashing out there, kind of like what Jing might do. And that's the craziest thing about these two teams, is they're still kind of looking for that consistency. There's always a lot to be said. There's always a lot of impactful moments, even from the coaches as well.
Yep.
And there's so much that they can pull off. I do think that Talon, though, has a lot more...
Apa nih, Pacific 2023 Champions versus
use.
Payoff first timer. Coaching Dex disable. Is truth the proof? Huh?
Quite the show because the coach cams are like the biggest thing on the screens, and these are the two coaches that you definitely want to be watching. But
League play, second place, 7 win, 2 lose. Playoff first.
do they meet Paper Rex with equal aggression, or do they fortify themselves?
It's hard to say what is the best way to go about this. I mean, because so few teams have been able to really take down Paper Rex in the past. Talon, you know, we know that they do have the firepower, but sometimes fighting fire with fire is not necessarily going to be the thing that ends up working out for you.
Bentar, ganti judul dulu, guys.
I mean, we've seen it, you know, many
That's
times.
a big fire.
Yeah, it's a huge fire. It's a big dumpster at times.
Yeah, it is.
But they always get, you know, they get their wins. I don't mean to insult them, but sometimes you watch them play and you're like, man, this should not be working, but it is, and it's just because the players are so good at thriving in the chaos. So if you're gonna try to go toe-to-toe against them in that regard, that's where things could get a little bit rough for you. I think that we're gonna be seeing a lot of proactive interjection from the coaches on both sides here. I think if Talon get out to some kind of early lead, you're absolutely going to see Alex getting in there saying, you know, turn your brains off. This is where we're
turn your brains off.
Yeah,
It works
yeah,
for
is what he said in the past. Just say, stop thinking, just play the game. You know, get into that flow state. You know, we see players and you know who've talked about flow state Valorant. I think a big example from Americas the other day was actually Jogamo.
Hello, what you guys doing?
You're not really thinking about where the next game is coming from. You're relying on your game sense. You're just going off of your.
Selamat datang teman-teman semuanya.
What Alex wants from his players.
Yang baru join.
Frost, I mean, we've seen him go out with some very.
Jangan lupa di like, bro.
Won't like the comm structure that's happening in game. He won't like the way that they're playing, you know, or the way that they're moving away from what the game plan was for a certain set play. Because he says, okay, we have this read. We know that they do this on round 6 or whatever.
Oke, gua like. Thank you RD player ya. Thank you, Dan.
So I think both coaches, we're probably going to see a lot of time.
Tapi 2 kali, jangan 2 kali. Sekali aja.
Don't think, just do.
Tingginya anjir.
Exactly what they will do, you know, in the game, Paper X at the very least. But that's the other
visor
thing.
off, Luke.
Yeah. For these two players, you know, Devi and Ban, I feel like there's a lot of focus on how they can play because Devi has, you know, been the secondary clutcher a little bit for Paper X in the past if Mindfreak's not up there. And then meanwhile for Ban, last week, that was a whole different look. I mean, he was on a tear with that Yoru, and that's just why I feel like map picks is going to be very important because if Paper X leaves a map like Breeze, Icebox open, they're going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, as we are about to get into our map select, I like that you brought up flow state because
Bentar, suaranya emang gua kecilin bentar ya. Kalau suaranya kecilan nanti gua gedein lagi, Pak.
do it all the time. Maybe like for example, an org like T1, a team like T1, they can't exactly get into flow state just yet, but for Paper X, that fits them exactly. So as we get into our map select, I'm thinking right off the bat that we have both teams banning Breeze. Talon, I am not quite sure. PRX will probably ban Ascent because that seems to be their constant. What are we feeling here?
I don't want Breeze or Icebox. I don't want to, you know, Paper X playing against Talon on Breeze again, or like against that ban Yoru on Breeze. That will be very, very difficult for Paper X.
This is off topic.
Map pick, guys. Map pick, guys.
The first glance, I think he's wearing like a Leviathan hoodie.
I see that. I see that. No, and then there's that swirly sort of like you almost think it's that Leviathan, you know, logo.
But okay, it is going to be split, taken away by Talon. Breeze, understandably and expectedly banned by Paper Rex. Lotus is open. I mean, obviously a map that Paper Rex are going to be incredibly well versed on, but one that Talon feel like they have a solid read. I think that, you know, especially if they're going to be throwing that Neon into the mix, we could see some really breakneck speed gameplay coming through. But Bind is left open. Paper Rex, this has been a solid one for him.
Look at Frost swinging that pen around, like almost a little bit nervous. I mean, that's a very big thing. You're picking on Lotus, you're kind of going all in on that. You're not entirely sure what Paper X will go in on that second map, so you're maybe foregoing that even, or you know, you're just gonna try to.
Lotus Bind Sunset. Aduh, ini doang ya mapnya. Kayak bosen gitu lihat Lotus terus, guys. Lotus lagi.
We'll see if Talon are going to be able to deliver on it here from the outset. I mean, both teams a handful of times playing on Lotus here. Paper X, you know, half and half.
Yeah, I don't know about that Sunset, especially when you're up against Paper Rex. I almost feel like maybe Talon should have left Paper X to ban out Ascent, which they probably would have. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they have something planned for this. Maybe they left it open for a reason.
It's a very different play style compared to just about any other team that you're going to be scoring off against when it comes down to Sunset, just given, you know, how PaperX, the comps that they like to experiment with going over there, and who knows, maybe they have even more stuff up their sleeve to kind of surprise us with. So, yeah, I mean, the Sage just continuing to crop up for them, that could be something that just continues to be worked in and really slow things down to a snail's pace on Talon's side. But this first map, this should be nothing but fast pace. I don't think PaperX are going to stray too much away from the usual composition. Maybe they decide to pivot something off the jet back over onto the Reyna, perhaps, but that's about the biggest adjustment I would see them coming through with. But for Talon, that Neon Chamber comp, like, if they're going to keep running with that, this could just be a huge amount of just early clashing round over round. I mean, you know, we could average like 30-second rounds throughout this map.
I do wonder if that, you know, that Neon comp is really just that one-off thing that they wanted to pick up from Zeta, but going up against a team like PaperX, you know, you're expecting Forsaken to look for some of these lurks. You're expecting PaperX to be peeking out a lot, which is why I do feel that this is one map where you're expecting Cruz to come in with a lot of great reads. You know, he's playing that fade. He's been such a good caller for the whole squad. I'm expecting them to play, you know, not entirely fast. You know, you're not fighting fire with fire against PaperX on this map.
And you don't want to in that case,
really.
right? I mean, when it comes down to the aim duels, you kind of want to step back a bit when it's PaperX.
Agent picknya 2 kali yang sama kayak gini guys, 2 kali yang sama si PaperX. Kalau buat talonnya 4 kali agent apa itu? Fat apa lagi tadi?
You know, coming over from tier 2 NA, this is it for him. This is an elimination match. This is as high as the stakes can go for him. So he's gonna have to come up huge.
They really do have to start out strong on Lotus.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, on all of the maps, realistically, versus PaperX. I mean, they do come into this one as the underdog, you know. PaperX, they've been a team who's always up here. Talon haven't really hit those heights. It's the same roster that was in that second place in that grand final of champions last year. So, of course, PaperX comes in with a lot more stock behind them, but Talon have looked good, and it all can start with Governor if he is going to be playing that Neon. So I'm really curious about
Tuh,
his agents. Like,
Gubernur kalau main Neon,
he had a huge start to the season generally on Neon at kickoff.
Tuh.
Dropped over 30 on Breeze. Didn't really get to see Neon from him at
kata
all.
dia neonnya Gubernur harus diwaspadai bro.
These are those shades of that first, you
know,
debut Neon game that you had. This is that kind of impact that we're looking to see. And one of the other things that I actually quite like about it is that this
Aduh, AC gue udah nggak dingin coy. Tukang AC-nya lama banget coy.
also going to be running that jet raise still because you have those relay bolts. You can go ahead, chuck those at the start of the rounds, and really try to set up, you know, to dictate pace and take space for the squad.
Yeah, and I feel like right now, Talon could potentially do this, especially since, you know, they're a team that prepares very well for their next opponents, but again, it's PaperX. So gentlemen, please let me know your predictions as we bring them up on the screen. You can explain the logic behind them, but I feel like only William and Asteroid really do need to explain
their logic.
Their logic. Maybe Asteroid not so much just because it's like, oh, I'll see her or whatever, but for this match, question mark?
Look,
William sama Asurai Talon cuy.
They're not the 2023 untouchable squad. You know, when we were just talking about this, it's taken some time to try to get back into that hive mind, flow state gameplay where everyone.
Beli AC baru kah? Enggak. Apa? Service.
They have had their stumbles.
Oke, lu cok. AC udah nggak dingin, beli baru cok. Belum dicuci cuy, belum dibersihin. Kemarin sempat bocor tapi sekarang nggak bocor lagi.
PaperX, we've seen so many times where they are down, they're looking defeated. It's looking like it's going to be a wash. Alex just pumps the brakes real quick, turn the brains off. Just don't put too much thought into it. Just go click heads, and then they do. So for that, I think if PaperX gets off to a hot start, we're going to see that intervention from Frost, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, similar things. I do feel like PaperX is just incredibly strong all across the board. They can be a little bit shaky at times, and I was a little bit nervous coming into this, but looking at the map picks now, if, you know, Talon doesn't go onto a map like Breeze, I certainly hope their Lotus is going to be strong, because if not, PaperX has a very good way of controlling the map. I mean, it's a lot of, you know, maybe no brain, just pure aim at times, but there's also a lot of organized chaos going on across. You know, you're looking at Forsaken, who's able to play so many different roles, go in for flanks. Lotus, you know, Talon just needs to really be able to read and prepare for a lot of these moments.
Yeah, and goes to show, right? Preparation is the name of the game for today's matches. I mean, we saw earlier, of course, that Maybe it might not pan out, but we'll see as Flight Club takes on W Gaming. Who is going to be here to stay? That is the big question. So let's take it to the stage for the second match of the day here at VCT Pacific.
Let's go guys, walk in. Walk in. Let's go boys. Maaf. What are you guys doing? I'm low, cenah. Mukek lu yang low profile.
Very close, like 2-1. We went to third map a lot. We're probably one of the only team that played multiple maps throughout the series. So I'm very confident in going into playoffs.
Just now
we finished at group stage. Yeah, it's good to go to playoff with only one loss. We lost to Team Secret 0-2 just because we get outside of the game problems, and now we fix this, and now we're gonna show our 100%.
But here comes G. A bit of a swap setup. He's getting the quad kill.
In group stage, we tried our best to bring back Jink to use to us again, to make Jink more comfortable in the game. Since he never played with us for 5 months, we let him call a bit more in the game, so he more in the charge, and we waste time together, walk outside.
PRX is a very good team. We've scrimmed them multiple times before. I think the most valuable player on the team overall is definitely Forsaken, because of the fact that he can play any agent at a very high level. But we're not also scared as well, so I think we're pretty confident going into the match. You guys see me in scrims, I'll shoot you back.
Wait for a stronger PRX. I hope you're gonna enjoy our W Gaming strats, and I hope we're gonna do our best for 100% in playoffs.
Halo Bang something guys. Bang Ilya.
For the playoffs is I'm just gonna shoot them back, honestly. I think keeping my good form and doing what I need to do in order to make the team win is the most important. So I think keeping my form is the most important for playoffs.
Paper Rex.
Pang.
Pacific, it's Paper Rex that comes to mind for most people. Whether it's their unforgettable playstyle, their top fragging players, the very best from Southeast Asia, or the fury of their coach that moves them forward. There is no stopping that W when it's Paper Rex that is charging in. But on the other side,
TALON
we have TALON
Esports.
Esports. After an explosive final season match, TALON Esports soar into playoffs. They've been often an underestimated team, but as Pacific draws on, TALON prove that the Flight Club can pack a punch, and these players are hungry to step on that international stage once again.
They absolutely are. And I mean, this team right now looking incredible. I mean, Ban talking about it in the promo video there before we got the players out on stage, saying, you know, I want to keep my form, and that form right now has been looking excellent. This is a player who had a lot of, you know, different opinions about him. You know, coming out of last year, he had his ups and downs when he was playing on T1. Slow start when he got started shifting back over onto that jet. Slow start when he came out and was playing smokes for the squad. But right now, under, you know, Frost and just the coaching staff of TALON, under the guidance, Ban has been looking absolutely fantastic as of late. And of course, some hugs exchanged as those two have a history. If you talk to Frost for about 10 seconds, he'll tell you that he used to be, you know, in CS, and well, as we all know, Alex has as well.
But yeah, I mean, again, just kind of thinking about it, TALON, you know, this is a high-pressure game, a potential knockout match, and if Talon doesn't come out swinging, you know, they're going to have to play defense for the rest of it. So I certainly hope they're going to give us their best performance. It was a very motivated game, motivated win from last week, and they need to bring that forward over onto playoffs.
Oh yes, again, this is an elimination match. So stakes are very, very high for both of these teams, especially since, you know, you also have DRX waiting around the corner, right? Sometimes it's out of the frying pan and into the fire when it comes to high, intense pressure situations like this. But again, stakes are very, very high. Both teams want those championship points. They want that Pacific Trophy, and most of all, they want Master Shanghai for sure.
No, they absolutely do. And for Talon, all the pressure very much is going to be on their shoulders. We'll see if they're going to be able to bear that weight. Paper Rex, though, this is a position that they're certainly not used to being in this first round, being at risk of being eliminated. The last time that they were qualified for an international championship was all the way back in 2021 when they lost the LCQ to Dam1. And that was about 930-something days ago. So Paper Rex, they haven't felt pressure like this in quite some time.
Oh yes, and we heard those screams from all the way over here on the analyst desk. So let's toss it on over to William and to Valdez to get this started.
Well, thank you so much, Alice Test, for breaking that one down. We're getting into our second playoff match of the night. Talon up against Paper Rex, and certainly there is a favorite in terms of Paper Rex coming into this one, but Talon, you know, time and time again, they keep on stacking the wins. They make it into playoffs, and certainly not an easy team to just get over here for Paper Rex, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they can challenge them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously me and Asterai being the only ones that predicted Talon, I can't speak for Asterai, but for me, it's that I think there's more than just a chance, right? I agree. If Talon wins, it's absolutely an upset. I don't think there's any arguing that, just purely because of Paper Rex's power. But I also believe that Talon, individually speaking, they have players who would be willing to keep up with the fast pace of Paper Rex. But the question is can they stay together? And wow, Paper Rex, I mean, this is something that I've always wondered about, that they have to change their agent comp at some point for Lotus. They can't keep getting away with just the firepower of something in Jing. And they're going to take out the Cypher for the breach. So this is no Sentinel, right? You've got no Anchor. You've got nobody watching flank. I mean, this is double downing on the whole W gaming.
Yeah, throw in some flashes and
press Bangpor pakai breach, cok.
go kill them, I guess.
No Cypher, coy.
Very fun.
Per second no Cypher, anjir.
Composition, you would imagine, even for the defensive side, we saw a lot of that even in our first match of the night when we did play on Lotus from both sides, honestly. So wouldn't be surprised to see Paper Rex doing that. But they are going to start off on the attacker side, so certainly looking to get aggressive with this comp. You know, a bit more standard on the side of Talon Esports, nothing too big to see there. So pretty interesting to see. I think this Lotus is going to tell us a lot about how the series is going to go.
Absolutely. And obviously the big question is Talon, did you see this coming, right? Because I'm sure they prepped a lot of things about how to target Forsaken Cypher, how to get around that Odin, things like that.
Let's go,
out the
boys.
window.
Let's
I also
go,
wonder, does
boys.
this mean that Mind Freak's going to be hard on the lurk, maybe even more? Because you have
Ih
nobody
gila,
watching
itu
that flank, you have
seperti
nobody
yang di
opening up
skin, guys,
more
bunganya,
rounds.
bro.
I mean, yeah, the
Beli
breach
nggak
can
sih
get a little far
bandelnya
with the fault
di
line,
top up-nya di
but you're still going to want him
nggak
to
ada
be
top up, nggak ada top
somewhere
up.
close for that extra support on
Nggak ada
those
top
executes
up.
with things like the Aftershock.
Udah nggak ada, guys, top up guys.
Setting up to pressure in towards B here in the pistol round. See, Talon is ready for it. They have 3 people here already, and a ping going down, so wouldn't be too surprised if we get some fireworks right from the get-go. As here we go.
Yeah, that's just the fault line straight through.
Ew.
Yeah, Governor is not quite.
Ya Allah, mati gue
for a second.
Per second?
We'll go down. Good push out from Band though. So now you've regained control of Mound. You have the 4
masa
turret.
iya mau
You're still holding
diterobos?
close. It's still a crossfire. It's a nice try, but you know the classic double jump out of the smoke. That's a
Oh
Paper Rex
gitu,
trademark
maksudnya
right there
kayak
with the
gitu
stamp on it.
skemanya. Iya, Bang Paper Rex.
Have to do that, but hey, it worked, right? They just run at them.
Jangan gitu dong, jadi sedih gue. Apa jadi lo yang sedih?
But Surf on the flank here is going to take out Mind Freak. Does get pretty low, as just a couple of classics left for the side of the Talon boys.
Kanan nggak sih, Jing?
Whereas Paper X sitting on slightly better firepower. Also going to take out that turret here. Aggressive.
Gila diuber,
already
cok.
is Jing.
Ayo kita kejar. Ayo kita kejar Killjoy-nya. Itu dia, bro.
And he was somewhat ready for it. He was just trying to buy time for Surf. Seems like a bit of a misclick on that.
Yeah. Well,
nice banget.
That was a
awal yang bagus, bro.
to a very fast beginning of that round. But Paper X are going to get on the board.
Lebih bagus lagi di leg sih.
Pistol rounds getting aggressive here. And you'll see the replay once again. It felt like Talon was ready for it, but...
Yeah. Yeah, they saw it coming for sure. You had Frenzy in hand, you had Crossfire. But the thing is Paper X, they even put that Cloudburst down, right? So they make sure that if there is a Crossfire, they know they're giving the respect that, okay, Talon's also a very prep-heavy team. They know how to match the opponent's style. So they're going to expect this double jump out. Let's cover one side, and now it's a triple jump out. They actually don't lose a single member on that initial peek out. And what in the world is that? The jump peek and the shot under from something.
Yeah. We got to see
Yang
Jing
ada ngechat bro, apa tuh tadi nggak lihat gua?
some fun stuff, but we'll definitely get a replay of something shot as well as already Paper X, they don't waste any time. I mean, they just run on in, they're going to throw the spike up top.
Kau mau masang kah?
Say, I'm not planting that thing. Somebody
Wah
else
si Angkel, banyakin lu ya Angkel ya.
That's going to be a nice amount of information.
Si Angkel Dava cok, buang-buang spike.
And Paper X are very cleanly out of the site already.
Yeah, so one thing that we're already seeing, and I mean, the spike plant for Jing is perfect. He's only 1 point away from the showstopper. An absolute feeder here for Jing on that raise.
Kedengeran nggak sih guys?
But the important thing here is that what this breach allows Paper X to now do is push out even more confidently in the post plant, right? You don't have to just rely on lurks and wraparounds and just your aim.
Banyakin lu jump pick.
I mean, but it's things like that. That's Paper X, right? I mean, you just don't
Kurang nabok
expect
kecil.
that type of coordination.
Gak tahu kenapa. Dengan
Right
Mika kayaknya deh.
things like that.
Dia kayak nggak ngerespon.
They just know how to make sure that they have advantageous fights.
Yep.
Padahal juga kenceng guys, sampai satu kelurahan. Nggak ada yang lebay.
A very clean second round as well. So now, buy rounds here for the side of Talon as something this time is not going to have nearly as much luck as Governor is making quick work of them. Take out two, Jing just trade it back. With his Spectre, going to upgrade that one and get onto the B site.
He's got the showstopper as well, so if he can hold on to this position, if they get the plant, the two members could maybe
baru
push out from
gas,
one other side. This could be a good
dulu sih gue kayak pengen beli SSD dulu bro. Mana sempat mikir ya facecam apa SSD ya, tapi SSD gue sempit banget. Kalau bisa main game banyak.
Oh, this lurk here from Mindpeak just trying to clear.
Mahal banget guys ini guys, mati 3. Winnable bro. Nah itu dia. Anjing di ulti cok. Wah.
Yeah, it wastes so much time for Cruz.
Timingnya.
Right as he enters, Jing is unstoppable today.
I mean, he was already 5-0. Now he's 9-0. Well, what? Very fiery start for Jing.
Persis kayak Raze gue bro. Kayak Raze gue waktu itu. Dalam mimpi tapi.
Get him back on the swing of things as every kill.
Very nice. Timingnya gila.
On the showstopper.
I mean, you talk about some teams, they're IGLing for the first time. They're gonna have a rougher day.
Coba tunjukin bang nanti main.
We'll let you call even more for more confidence.
Cuma bisa sekali bro itu bro.
Game command everybody.
Yeah. This time around, something is not quite going to land that one. Getting aggressive here is Talon on their own bit of an eco. And they'll control Mound for now, but do see that Paper X is hovering around here. Might look for a follow-up push.
Yeah, and I like what JitBoys is doing. He knows that Paper X is a team that
gila something outlaw lagi bro.
Just go to the other side.
Dia tahu dia nggak punya, musuhnya nggak punya duit sih.
He respects that they could
outlaw lagi deh.
And since while they still wanted to play the numbers game by stacking A, JitBoys respects it and says, listen, it's all pistols anyway. Maybe we group as 5. Maybe
cukur rambut lagi ya?
No matter what it might be.
Somethingnya cukur rambut ya?
The lurk.
Iya nggak sih?
Get a bit of damage done, but the fact that it's not a kill is
nice.
Well, that's a kill. That's a couple of kills for the side of Paper X. And now, if you're Talon, I would imagine that
buff rambut baru kah?
You just want to die to the spike.
Yeah, it's looking a little tough.
Buff
So he's gonna open the door. There should be a timing here for Governor to try to peek in for another extra
kill. Benci banget gua sama Stinger.
Trying to stay alive. Oh.
Oh man. Well, the door not quite thick enough.
Benci banget gue sama Stinger sekarang coy.
And Ban is just here seeing if anybody's gonna push out and will die to the spike. So Paper X 4-0 start off.
Anjir itu dia nggak sakit ya si Ban ya? Monitor liat dah.
Not the tempo at all that Talon wanted to have. Obviously, yeah, sure, you let them start on the attack. You're looking to do more damage in the second half if it's Lotus.
Lehernya apa nggak
And
pegel, Cok, abis
Talon
keluar
is a
tenang.
team that can really take the initiative to control the tempo. But not like this. Not letting Jing run amok and then everyone else just picks up free kills on anti-eco rounds, things like that. I also feel like Something's hair just gets shorter every time he gets a haircut. He like cuts it even shorter. He's like, no, it wasn't short enough last time.
Yeah, he's experimenting. You don't have to wait until the hair grows out more to then cut
That's
it again.
true,
You could
that's
just
true.
go get another haircut.
That's the new
Tuh,
meta.
tuh, dengerin tuh. Kok hostnya aja bilang rambut baru, Cok, terlalu pendek.
And they are going to have a buy round. We have the Odin back here for Cruz.
Anjing, coachnya aja,
See if this
coachnya.
one looks a little bit better.
Casternya aja
for the
bilang
side of
gitu,
Talon,
anjing.
who are not on the board just yet.
All right, that's an instant kill on the Prowler. No information given. Oh, so they were holding far back. You don't know if the corner is clear or not. So Talon, yeah, they're going to have to invest a second Prowler to clear. They'll spray the close angles, but now you know that it's multiple here. So Paper X, they're happy to push in, and again, they'll be happy to push out once they go in the post plan as well. You got Seekers online, Fault Line is there. They even creep in.
Seeing about behind those boxes, Something was trying to peek and get the first pick off before committing, but now they're going to commit to it.
Oh, no way! He just runs through. He doesn't even need to get the kill. What is going on?
They don't even need him. I mean, they're just getting the
Nggak takut
pick
dia sama
from
Molly,
down
Cok.
the zone.
Ya
He's going to
ampun.
be taken out with the
Nice banget.
showstopper. And that is devastating for Governor as Paper X are
Loh, ke kanan kata
shutting
Something.
it down. Jit Boys gets one, and Ban is alone. He's gonna
Pasang nggak sih? Jangan dibuang. Astaga, Cok. Wah, Angkel, lihat Angkel, no. 2 kali Angkel, Cok. Wah.
Seen Ban pull off some crazy stuff on this map.
That he has.
Si Uncle Davai kagak mau masang, anjir.
Two of the best shooters in Pacific. He's waiting for the trade angle, but it's not quite there. So now he has an inkling that they both of them have to be near the bend.
He's gonna take his time, seeing if he can get the initial pick.
Here's one.
Oh, Jing just too strong today. He's got the hot hands for sure, and he is going to win that trade easily. It doesn't take any damage. And now that's 5-0 for Paper X.
11-0, by the way, for Jing. We're 5 rounds in. He's got more than 2 kills per round, and he has not died. It is not an overstatement at all to say that he is absolutely hard carrying. I mean, not that the rest of the team needs it, but he's doing it anyway.
Anjir lah, dibuang-buang.
This is, if anything, just to cool him off. This is a much-needed timeout.
I'm sure that Frost
Pam 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 pam
watching your team just kind of get
pam
smothered
pam
at every single
pam
corner.
pam 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 pam.
As both coaches there talking in the booth, you see Alex doesn't have too much to say. I mean, what do you even say as the
Pam 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 pam. Ih, gila. Ih.
I mean, you probably just cheer up the other players, right? I'm sure you'll get more kills in the next map up for next.
Rambutnya, Cek, rambut Something aneh banget lihat dah.
He's cleaning house. I don't think there's really much to say.
Ih, kakak siapa itu, Bro?
Again, part of that is they're
Kakak siapa itu tadi?
all their duels. Yes, they had a couple good reads in the early 2 rounds, but afterwards it has just
Asli Something rambut
bulldozer here for
anak SMP. Anak SMP.
Now even the opera
Iya, anjir.
out. That's, I mean, creds or not, this has to be unexpected. Yes, Devi is oftentimes a great opera for Paper X, but with this comp on attack, this is going to be a hard one for Talon to read, and it's a good curveball for Paper X to throw.
It definitely is, especially after a timeout. You know, you might see a set play from the side of Talon, but I don't really see all too much just yet. As here comes Jing very aggressively on the side. He's coming right at him. Forsaken's going to get the kill here at B. Meanwhile, the whole team is just on C for free.
Yeah, and I believe he did catch slight sight of Jit Boys as well, so he's just going to back out. That's good decisions from Forsaken.
Aduh, itu
He's
siapa
going to help
buka
cover that
katanya
for the time
Something.
being.
Uy,
Now you're covering the
why
flank.
you open the
You're wondering,
door?
because they didn't cover Rubble at all, they're a little bit scared of the flank, but now ready for the push through, and he gets a kill with the aftershock.
Oh, boy.
Angkel.
Yeah, Talon kind of floundering here, you could say, to Boys. He's going to dodge the flash. Surf is on the site,
Wah,
but that's
gila
going to
Angkel
be the end of
Davai,
Jit
cuy.
Boys. And they know where Surf
Wah, gila,
is.
gila,
Down he
gila, gila,
goes,
bagus banget,
6-0 for Paper X. And they will
Bang,
not be stopped.
kamu menayangkan pembantaian.
The switch
Nggak
to
boleh,
the
Bang,
breach,
nanti
I
di
think,
banned
is a big
YouTube.
part,
Aduh, maaf
right?
dah.
I think this breach is starting to really throw
Gimana
Talon
ya?
off a bit because the timings on the post plant, it's extra utility you have to worry about. Paper X can really delay you a lot earlier and still set up for angles, right? You can clear angles one more time in the post plant.
Jangan gitu.
And Talon is just not ready for it. By the way, that blast pad
Aku masih
and then the hop
pagi ya.
down with the shorty, that's actually amazing from Surf. What a way to try
Cepatkan
to
ini
solo
nggak sih?
clear the site.
Cepatkan
'Cause oftentimes,
Shanghai,
the
bro.
guy hiding behind that pillar is usually the thorn in your side.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice try. It's not enough, and now it's something on this one. He's trying to double
gila.
that. He really gets clipped by one shot only after getting peeked by 3 people.
Ih,
And
bagus
here's
banget,
Jing
Cok.
gets the kill on the ban. And yes, it's not a
Jing
buy round
mainnya
here
kayak
for
gue
Talon,
banget.
but
Iya
still
sih,
the
kayak
peaks
Raze
are
lu banget, bro.
impressive for the side of Paper X.
You know, Valdez, there are times when a caster says something before a match,
Kayak
and
Raze
you
lu
really
banget, bro.
believe it. And sometimes you feel a little silly. This
Can
might
you
be one
feel-
of the games that has made me feel
my
the
heart? Kata
silliest
Talon.
by saying that I think Talon can keep up individually in terms of tempo, because I still believe they have the potential, but even individually, they are not able to keep up with the speed. Yeah. This is...
Yeah.
Wah.
No, I think that's fair. I mean,
Wah.
at the same time, like, Talon aren't really showing up
7-0,
just yet.
guys.
Paper X have come out right from round 1, and they're playing their best Valorant right now. I mean, Jing finally died, so that's something.
All right,
at least,
all right.
I guess. He's 12-1. But this as well, he's just, like, kind of playing with his food, and then... Yeah, it's very one-sided at the moment. There's not really much else to say.
No, I mean, there really isn't. I mean, we're not even being given a chance by Paper X to see if Talon has good reads for the round, right? Because you're losing the first duels, and after that, it all breaks apart. You're finally back up to the own, and you've got a couple full armors this time, so it's looking a little bit better. But this is basically the round.
Nomor
where you
Paper X
start
saja
to
nggak
have to get
diajak lo,
at least
gila.
one round if you want to make it even like a 4-8, a 3-9. Because if you lose this one, it might just be a 10-2, something like that.
So Paper X, they get the read. There's a lot of pressure. Talk screen has come up, but they're going to press the tree door. The Odin trying to
Serius
spam
guys,
on
serius guys.
through.
Maaf. Pencet.
As here's the Nightfall as well. See the Rolling Thunder to clear the site, so they are going to get the pick here.
Ini nice
Another
banget,
first kill
Forsaken.
for Forsaken. He keeps on picking these up.
Ganti nama aja kali ya,
Site is
Ger.
theirs. Once again, Bam
Kenapa
trying to
jadi
get
nama?
this pick, but he will not
Kenapa
be
jadi lu
able
ganti
to.
nama?
As, I mean, we talked a lot about Jing. We've seen the shots
Tuan
from
nggak
something,
diajak,
but
aduh.
everybody else is
Sorry,
also playing an insane game today.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not that they were
Jadi
being carried because
kapan
they
PC
needed
baru,
it. It's just that
kocak?
Jing was always on the front line,
Nice.
picking up the first kills.
Ih, gila di...
I mean,
Wah.
what's Paper X's warm-up routine
Di
today? Because
obok-obok,
everybody wants
Cok.
to know.
Real ini mah?
I would certainly like to know. I mean,
It's perfect. I mean, this is...
Tapi kalau misalkan gubernurnya nyala, beda cerita guys.
This might be some of
Gubernur
the most
nyala,
perfect Valorant
bandnya
we've seen.
nyala.
And that, for Paper
Udah
X,
sih
that's
itu
saying a lot,
paling
because
yang
they
ngeri.
oftentimes look very good swinging out the gate. But, I mean, all their crosshair placements, their reaction, like this flick up, Jit Boys was meant to get that
Gua sih
kill.
mimpi udah.
That was supposed to be Jit
Gue
Boys'
sih mimpi
skill.
ultah
Everything
gua
was set up
tiba-tiba
for
ada
it.
laptop di kamar gue bip.
it's really on point. I mean, you see
Aminin
all
nggak
three
sih
shots
3 orang yang
from
menonton,
Forsaken
guys?
in the 3K. We also saw Jing's kills.
Kurang ya amin ya kalau 3 orang dong
They're
ya.
just not missing a beat. They're coming in really strong, really fast, and they're winning every single duel, as you mentioned. And that just kind of makes things feel a bit unfair. As now something's waiting for the push. And yeah, 3 for 1. Down goes Mind Freak at least. But now it's only Ban and Surf.
And the craziest part is that push out wasn't actually
Ger,
that bad in
daripada
theory.
mimpi dulu, mending lu like
'Cause
dulu.
Here's the thing. Normally you see a
Siapa
pick,
tahu nanti,
you
aduh.
expect. Okay.
A
Surf-
duel
Siapa tahu nanti pas lu like
Hold on,
ada
everybody,
laptop
hold
di
your
samping
horses,
kamar
we
lu,
got
bro.
action.
Di samping tempat tidur
But
lo.
to continue my point, as we most likely, see Jing win another duel, is normally the Viper's Pit, you're expecting the defenders to
Gila,
basically
cuy.
force you to funnel to the other side. They're going to
Gila,
hold on
bro.
the other side. It's going to be a numbers game. So Talon tries to push out on a timing. I don't think it's bad. Paper X is just so much quicker on covering their flanks,
Jempol ke
covering their
bawah,
angles.
jangan
And then the
jempol ke
reaction trades
atas,
from Jing.
Jing. Gini, Jing. Jing.
Yeah, I think for sure
Ini.
we've seen a lot of impressive things from every player of...
Commute, Cok.
him at the moment. Some of those really long range, just 1-2 taps with the Vandal, like he hasn't missed a single one. It's really scary stuff, and it's very demoralizing to go into that. As here comes Jing once again, he's just running through everything, doesn't care. Pressing that W
maaf.
key, they're gonna
Aduh,
clear
kram,
out
Cok,
the
kram.
seaside as well as they can. A
Nggak ada
surface.
suara.
Yeah, they're just gonna
Nggak ada
run at
suara.
him and take him down. Take them both
Gak ada
down.
suara, ada.
Something.
Ah, gak ada suara.
The set executes. I
Ah,
mean,
nggak ada.
is it set?
Nggak
Is
ada.
it blood?
Ada.
Paper X, you never quite know, but it's a
Bohong,
mix of
lihat.
both every time. And the
Something wanted his ace.
Yes, he's not going to get it. Mind Freak says
Yes.
it's saved for another day. But
Kayak seruan timnas
listen,
kemarin
people
tuh
have
udah
tried
pada
to
ini
say
bro.
that they think Paper X is back. They continue to have a little bit of an up and down, even their
0-13.
wins look a little messy.
Real kah?
But I
13-0?
think today, all the Paper X fans are going to say they're back. I mean, it almost looks magical, right? Like, the
Gila,
coordination, the
ditembak-tembak
comms,
dia
the
aja.
speed. I mean, something in Jing.
Dikasih satu mungkin.
And
Pistol
if
Rock
you're
nggak
just like
sih?
tuning in for playoffs and you haven't watched in a while, you're like, oh yeah, of course, Paper X. No,
Yes.
like Talon is a really strong team. They're quite a good team. It just doesn't look like that right now because of the way that Paper X is playing.
Gua kira Gubernur yang itu, Cok.
Yeah, are Talon playing their best? Maybe not, but at the same time, this is certainly one-sided. Paper X now trying
Ini mah
to
namanya
force it
cepatkan
into
bertemu
C,
di
as they
RX,
have done
bro.
many a time, to a lot of success, obviously. Mind Freak going to get up on the box as they slowly but surely chip away portions of the C
Nah,
site.
mati kan, bener?
I mean, you just can't catch a break if you're Talon.
Bang,
Yeah,
udah lah
when you have a
bang.
fair
Gila,
fight,
gila,
some of them
gila,
fire
gila.
back a couple times, but it's rarely ever fair because of the speed from Paper X.
Well, you know that Cruz is up against the wall here, so tries to throw out that, and just like that, the round is over. Didn't even realize. 11-0.
Bukan basket, emang di
well,
basket
all the
kayak gitu
viewers
ya?
around the
Basket
world,
kali, basket.
you're all hoping for one thing to happen, because we've all been denied it several times throughout all the different leagues, and I'm not going to say it, but we're very close. We're only 2 points away. And honestly, today, it looks likely. And just look at how aware Paper X is. Before they even spotted Surf back there, they know that that's the part, the man behind the pillar is always the biggest thorn on C-site. So they fault line it, they flood it, they aftershock it, now you got
Udah nih,
crossfires.
cepetin bro, ngantuk.
I mean, it's good, and now
Ya,
they
salah
react,
read.
but they're always a
Ih,
step.
masih mati. Masih
I
mati,
mean, it's
Cok,
like he saw it
Gubernur.
coming 20
Wah.
seconds ago. He's like, all right, he's going to come out
Lempar
here with a
meja nggak sih?
showstopper. He's got it. He's
Kesel,
going to get
kesel.
aggressive, and something just doesn't miss. He doesn't miss.
This is brutal.
Now, I mean, you know,
Wah, lu gila
something's just
something.
playing with his food. Like, he didn't have to do that.
Di
Might as
flash sama
well, I
temen.
guess, at this point. And that's going to be the end of Jip Boys. We got Ban. He's got a lockdown. He's dead. 12-0.
Holy.
Paper X are one pistol round away from a flawless map.
And I believe Talon only called that one timeout. And I
Yeah.
have to imagine
sangka, anjir.
that is because you're watching
Siapa
this game
sangka
and
bro
you're
bisa
thinking,
diego-ego
there's literally
gini,
nothing
anjir.
I can do to fix, like, there's nothing I can say to fix this, right? We're just getting outclassed on the server. The
Yeah.
players know it as well. We
Lu
just have to
nggak
laugh it off. We have
Wah,
to shrug
lihat
it off.
nggak
'Cause
pakai jersey,
you can't put too
pantesan
much
coy.
weight into this.
Dinas.
Yeah, I think that's true. This is going to be one of those maps that,
20
you
menit
know,
doang.
going
Emang
into
iya
the
20
next
menit ya?
map might not affect you as much as a
Gak ada
close loss,
20 menit
right?
ini,
Yes.
Emang
This
iya?
might be like, okay, we got absolutely clapped. Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Kalau habis ini
And
menang
maybe
ya.
we can take them on binds and just kind of like reset our mental.
Kakak
I
siapa
mean,
tuh?
time-wise, it almost feels like it might not have
Anjing,
happened if
ya,
it has
anjing.
because it has been absolutely
Asli, men.
quick.
Anjir, iya kan?
And this fan, they've got a couple things that make them fall in
Bentar,
love
gua
with
lihat.
Paper X. And one of them is Alex smiling, which I think there's a lot of today so far.
Iya
You
ya.
can watch the
Iya anjir.
you can watch the
Fighting.
coaches if you're here. Yeah, we got
Sama half apa?
some Talon
sama
fans as well. And listen, I mean,
break half
yes,
time sih.
Talon beating Paper X would have been a very
Sama
big
kan,
upset.
break
But that also, right now, Paper X is making it look like Talon is the absolute
Anjir, cepet
weakest
banget.
team in Pacific or something like that, right? They're making the gap look
Kalau
so big.
dihitung
And
waktu
I
mainnya
don't think
doang,
it was
iya iya
that
iya.
big to
Asli
begin.
men, iya anjir.
I mean, it was there, but it
Oh,
wasn't
salah,
like
ada
an
break-
absolute. It wasn't like the
apa,
Niagara,
ada
not Niagara
break
Falls, Grand Canyon or
halftime.
something like that, or
First
even the
half.
Niagara Falls. I don't know, any giant landmark you can think of.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was the Pacific Ocean gap or
you
anything
go,
like that.
yeah.
No.
It may be the
Begitu
Han
lu
River,
lihat
you know, it's
map
pretty big, the
pertamanya
Hudson River, you know,
pilihannya
something like that.
Talon, coy.
Yeah.
Map
But
keduanya Bind,
no, I agree.
Paper X.
I think that Paper X have really just kind of brought out a new level of game here for the playoffs, and that's really as simple as it is. And it looks very straightforward as well, as we are going to head into our pistol round. See if Paper X can close this out cleanly.
They are stunned.
Yeah, they know exactly where everybody is. That's 3
Wah,
kills
gila lu
already.
liat. Double
And
flash,
Paper
nggak kena.
X, they're looking for it. Can they pick it up, man? He wants to put an end to it. He's gonna get one, and it's only Cruz. He's just
Ketik
running
GG sekarang juga bro.
behind them.
Ketik GG untuk
Knife
Paper X bro.
out. But this is looking like it's gonna happen, William.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean, yeah, we've denied a lot of the viewers
something.
Something back, something back.
And it's a 13-0 from Paper X here on Lotus.
The first one of this stage in Pacific, and if I'm not mistaken,
Iya, basket ya something. Emang basket kayak gitu bro.
And it happens in the
lucu banget nih
playoffs
basket.
knockout round.
I
mean, absolutely incredible from Paper X. I mean, you can tell even in that pistol, Talon absolutely flustered, right? I mean, this is a competition made for trap plays. Talon's not ready for it. Paper X just crushes it.
Well, that was a map. It's already over, 13-0. Let's see what the analyst desk has
Bisa
to
dong
say
nih gua
about that
jemput
one.
nyokap.
We have
Ibu
nothing to say.
bareng ayah,
13-0. It's pretty self-explanatory at this point, especially when Jing has, what was it, that last count?
Well, actually, something overtook him in kills and ACS.
Okay.
At the very end.
Last, yeah.
But
Gila
between the
banget,
two of
anjir.
them, they basically almost doubled the total kill count for Talon.
Gila banget
This
coy.
was just the most one-sided,
Gila banget.
flawless, perfect game of Valorant that I have ever witnessed in my life.
Pretty much.
13-0s are so rare. DFM last year did not get 13-0.
This is a playoffs match, elimination match.
Look, here's what I'm saying. And you saw the total playtime. Just under 33 minutes. That's including timeouts.
Iya masalahnya ini.
And this was Talon's map.
Lu lihat kakak ini
Look,
guys.
I think most people, I think we all learned the same lesson when we were younger. I'm sure our parents taught us well.
Mudah-mudahan jangan jumawa sih. Map 2-nya bro, jangan jumawa bro.
Until the next map is ready.
Soalnya map ban itu enak pakai res. Siapa tahu lebih nyaman si gubernurnya. Tapi kalau nembaknya, iya ban. Tapi kalau nembaknya nggak kena sih percuma coy. Kalau nembaknya nggak kena. Apa Jing pakai gecko? Something yang pakai gecko. Jing mana pernah pakai gecko, cok?
This is the least surprising grab.
Dia cuma ini, itu nggak? Dia cuma CBR kocak. Cuma bisa res sama CBS.
It almost feels as though
cuma bisa res sama Sage, cok.
Sentinels were just weighing them down. We play a sentinelist composition. We
Jing itu manusia air, nggak mau jadi manusia air.
Duelist, and we're just playing at breakneck speeds. That's what this is.
I knew that these rounds were going to be fast. I knew they were going to be pacey, but I also expected that there was going to be a little bit more shooting.
Pas banget Anson guys, gue break dulu ya. Gue break dulu bro, benar. Gue off cam dulu mana ya, benar.
Who had an 11-0 start by the end of this is absolutely insane. He's got 7 first kills. He drops a 3 ACS.
Pas banget keluar anjir.
I was curious. Like, okay,
bentar ya guys, bentar ya bro.
Haircut coming through. This dude, this is a reverse Samson. Chop the hair off and the man gets more powerful. He just tore the temple down after you cut off his golden locks. This is insanity.
It's like aerodynamics. He's faster now.
Yeah, it's like Concon.
Yeah,
it's like Concon. Okay, like Concon threw his hair out, a little bit of a little iffy performance, and then he just like shaves his head again and just starts popping off. It's just across the board. Everybody. Flawless performance. Divide continues to be like the only person that makes Sky look like damn good and still broken on this map. He's the only one who can do it. He had an AWP in his hand at 1.2. He died twice. This was flawless.
And he heals up his teammates too because of it. That's why they are able to dive so almost recklessly. You know, they do it with extreme confidence, and if at all they take a bit of damage, hey, Divide, Lish, just you know, top us off a little bit. We'll go right back into the action, and that's exactly what happens. If we take a look at some of these highlights, you know, the positions at which Talon are playing, they're trying. They're trying so darn hard. I mean, there are some of these strats where Surf puts up the Viper's Pit up around C, Cruz, you know, the whole squad's trying to wrap back around from A. They're pushing out. They know they have the space. They know they have the angles. But Paper X are just on a tear, on a whole different level. And yeah, we even saw those, you know, the flicks, the anticipation from something.
The reaction times.
And then maybe like, you know, the last round, Mind Freak sends out a paranoia towards Rubble and he just dives at them with a shorty and dies. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever get the sense when watching Paper X, by the way, that like everything isn't like in slow motion? Because I got that.
Well, that's what.
I got
that's
that.
the thing, and that's what we're talking about. Is that flow state?
They got
that
their
just
zoomies.
that mind meld.
Yeah.
That was it. We just witnessed it. It felt like I was watching a team that had full aim hacks the entire time, knew what every
Yes.
move that their opponent was going to do. I felt like I was watching that. It was just every single read, every rotation that was attempted by Talon. It was just seen through by Paper X instantly.
That's true.
We have
Paper X
nothing more to
anticipated all
say.
of it.
Literally.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about Valorant? Yeah. This is exactly how you play Valorant. You just shoot heads every single time, and that's exactly what Jing did, right? If, they managed to take him down like, 3 times? And if you take him down once, it's like, good, congratulations, you took down Jing, but, you have the rest of Paper X to deal with, and now you're at a numbers disadvantage, so it's like, this was incredibly, what a powerhouse performance from Paper X.
That's the thing. There was that video from, I think, Valorant EMEA. They had like a little question about what the players think of Pacific, and everyone's just like, Paper X, they're fast. They're fast. That's it.
That's why Paper X is synonymous with this region, because they managed to really trademark that play style and make it like undefeatable.
This is just a different level, though. I mean, to pull off what they did. I mean, again, how often do you see a 13-0 at the highest
Thank you
level?
to William and
last time I
Fellas
can
for
think
not
of was-
jinxing it, by the way.
What, Loud versus EG? I mean, okay, actually, here we go. Good news, Talon. You're going to go on to become world champions. That must be the secret.
That's a sign, is it?
Yeah, okay, never mind. Everything's going to work out in the end.
One day. Don't worry, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, again, like you mentioned, Talon is not a bad team. We've seen them steadily improving, but it's just that, my God, Paper X. What do you do against Jing, who is putting up all of these frags against everybody, every single round?
This is very different from the previous series where we said, like, okay, this wasn't just T1 looking good. It was Secret making a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
This was just Paper X being better.
Yeah.
In every facet, in every metric, just dipping them. I mean, the snappy reactions that we were seeing from them, I mean, a lot of times, like, Talon were just not getting an opportunity to fire back, and everybody's aim was just so on point here.
Pure rushdown.
This was... I mean, I think it is probably the most gorgeous map of Valorant that we have ever witnessed from one side, obviously. This isn't the back and forth brawl where like, oh, that's really good gameplay. But as far as like just having a read, having a game plan and an understanding of how your opponent's going to operate and then just hitting everything, this was about as perfect as I've ever seen.
I had a little bit of a note here that was like, ooh, Paper X could potentially, this might be their weakest point because they're realigning. I'm just going to delete that.
The whole line.
The whole thing.
I see it. Okay,
yeah,
she's doing
pretty much just deleting all of that. But because, this is basically just Paper X doing everything right in the sense of Valorant, we're just going to go to 2 people who apparently can't get anything right at all over here on our guess and game. We do have another question for you, gentlemen. Which team will take more post-timeout rounds in map number 2? Judging on, basing everything on what we saw earlier.
So who's going to, call a timeout and then win the follow-up round? Am I correct?
Do we even really need to ask this at this point?
Because I think Talon, after what we saw, Talon's going to call timeouts. I don't necessarily think that they're going to win them.
I'm not.
And I think that Paper X might not have the timeout at all.
We'll just go for it.
So I'm just going to say a tie, I think.
He's going for a tie. I'm just Paper X.
I can't go any lower, so I'll just X2. I might as well 2X it.
Are you not curious what happens? You go all the way back up to Radiant. The world is round.
What case? I hope I'm wrong. An over-the-top straight. Oh, a poker player's favorite.
But yes, apparently everybody thinks the same way, Paper X as well. But I mean, is there any other reason not to at this point? I don't even think it's just that because Frost, sure, he might have he might have the power to rally his players together, but it's just that Paper X are just better in every sense of the word.
They were truly anticipating every turn, every step, every move that Talon were about to make.
They were. And I'm going to asterisk this before we really move on. I'm saying a tie because I think that Talon are going to call 2 timeouts. Paper X are basically going to call it 0, and then that nullifies it because Talon don't have any wins.
They cancel
and then
each other.
Technically, because Paper X haven't called timeouts,
they
also
won.
have 0.
Yeah,
so it's a tie.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why I'm going with
That's
this.
the condition. That's the condition under which you call a tie. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I do think that Alex might call a timeout sometimes, but it'd probably be just him laughing, just chill, guys. But right now
How's it going,
we are
guys? What's
going
the weather
into
like?
yeah. What's the weather like? How's it going there? You know. But right now we are heading into Bind, which is going to be PRX's map.
Yeah, that's it. It's PRX's map.
All right, look, for Talon, here's the copium. The copium is that you put a lot more time prepping your opponent's map. Pick the ones that you expected to go to, so you're going to have a solid understanding about how they like to pile this map. They're going to have pretty much similar compositions. Obviously, you got the Harper and the Brim on Paper X's side compared to the Viper there for Talon Esports. So very different post-plan setups. You know, you get something you can do a little bit differently there. The other copium is that we've heard it time and time again. You get smashed in an opening map. It's way easier to step away. However, a 13-0, I think, is a little bit different compared to getting, 13-3, 13-4, that kind of score line. This is a lot more, frankly, humiliation for the side of Talon. Are they going to be able to roll with the punches and have the bounce back? Can they use that to their strengths? We'll have to see.
They need to. It's knockouts. They have to come up with a map win. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. And that's the thing, this is a Paper X that, while they got a 13-0, there's also a slight chance for them to maybe overheat. So I'd like to see, Governor, Talon, the whole of them to just kind of hang back a little.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for more Valorant. So let's get to it. William and Valdez, over to you guys.
Thank you, analysts, for that awesome breakdown of the 13-0 that Paper X did just pull off against Talon on Talon's map pick. Now we're moving on to Binds.
Yeah.
Which is
Jackson, hello.
This is the first map, right? Hey, the match hasn't started yet. I mean, it's
the
only
first
been
one
so
was
long.
just an exhibition match. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I just talked about the comps a little bit.
Boleh ya?
I think the Brim versus the Viper, it brings a
Somethingnya
pretty
Gecko,
big
coy.
difference in that
Sesuai
they're going to play a lot. They can play a lot
sama
more reach
kebiasaan.
as well. A lot more
Baru bang,
aggro,
baru mulai.
push
Oke,
forward,
oke.
keep up the
Sabar.
fast tempo. Whereas Talon are going to try to control the map.
Seperti biasa, something Gecko main
So
freak.
far, it's not so bad, right? The
Loh.
snake bite gives you B main advantage.
Loh.
You still have A short advantage.
Main freaknya Brimstone, coy.
Showers. It's a good setup, and we've seen this Harper
Biasanya
wall before,
Viper.
so you got to expect a potential push out of Hookah as well.
And that is what's coming out of Paper X. They're moving as a team. Down will go for
Surf.
Sinkin on A. That is a free TP over to A.
Wah, free set
And
dong.
should be a
Wih,
free
gila
lines here.
4
Surf
flank,
expecting
bro.
rotation to come out from Hookah, around through A short, and he's going to spot them. He gets
Tawan kah?
Paper X are spotted.
Yeah, and they have Showers control, so Surf is just playing safe. He can still hold on to backside. That's a good back out from Surf. They still have site advantage in terms of overall control.
Well, Paper X just kind of run onto the site, and so spamming through Ban and Surf pick up one apiece.
Ih.
Jitboys, excellent timing to push out.
Kalah,
here,
cuy,
and that is a
pistolan,
very
cuy.
dominant first rounds here from Talon, so already infinitely more rounds than they had.
Bang Maghrib,
in the first map,
kamu coba lihat
and they
replay.
are on the board.
They are.
Dimundurin
also are
20
tied,
detik
for the
terakhir.
first kills that they had in the first map. So overall, a great start. But a great play on the map, right? I mean, it's a very classic setup with the long-range snake bite, things like that.
Muka Maghrib
But I love
gelap
it, and
dong
I love the
anjir.
push in from Surf.
Parah,
He gets him
Cok.
hard
Gary
though, right?
ngatain
Even if one
Daniel,
guy
Cok.
there, you know that it was just the
Gila
one
sih lu,
guy.
Ger.
You could probably
Ada
TP,
gila-gilanya sih lu, bro.
things like that where you would have the numbers advantage.
Well, they're going to push out here. He's going to get dizzied, but he does push them back with his own paint shells.
And a four-man buy from Talon, so only Surf with the Ghost. And usually you see the Ghost on the lurk, but this time, Talon, they don't want to spend too much time controlling the map. They want to push through.
Ih, batu banget Bang Por.
That they do. I think it's a pretty good idea. Just trying to push on to A, see what they can see. Surf is going to pick up that kill on a Forsaken as, okay, a couple of nice classic shots from something. Gets
mending
another dink, actually, but
70
eventually with the classic, you're going to run out of
Bukan
power.
Bukan
And if you
saya.
get that
Tolong
support
saya.
down,
Tolong saya.
Now, you don't have full Showers
Stress,
control, but you definitely don't want to go into lamps either with the long-range weapons. You kind of want to just let them sneak in there and just have an exit. So peeking into it, I think, is fine from Jitboys, but being trapped in there, okay, he has the Spectre, that's why. It's not a rifle at the very least.
Freak spotted. Easy peek around here from Jitboys, who is just going to look for... Unfortunate timing on that, as Jing
Maaf,
is going to be
masih
spotted,
Mas
throws
Madrid
down a
guys,
nice
takut
little
digedor
can.
guys.
Yeah, not what he was looking for,
Sem
quite
tetangga,
frankly.
bro.
He wanted to go for the jump peek with the knife and just gets blasted to oblivion. And somehow through all of this, Jing dying to the spike still has 5 points or something like that on his ult. So it's not like Paperex is absolutely flustered in terms of overall resources. But I will say, Surf definitely took that first map personally because he is firing right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to bounce back after that first map, right? Sometimes you can feel like you got humiliated, you could feel really bad, really demoralized, but maybe that can also just be used as motivation to try to come in and really shut them down even harder on the next map.
Judged by for Governor as well. So looking for a potential fast push into Lamps, but I like that they're still trying to control showers at the same time. That way they still have options around the safe site.
Nice banget
I
anjir.
mean, it's a nice attempt on the double
Nice
swing.
banget anjir babang Jing, bro.
And he gets the orb.
Persis guys kayak resnya Dani, bro.
Wow.
Percaya nggak kalian? Percaya
Well,
lah.
they know where he is. Surely that's... Wait, no, it's not. Jing is going to pick up a third kill. And...
Streamer pasif, terus gua harus ngapain, Cok?
That is not going very well.
Yes,
Map ketiga baru
it's unfortunate
dibantai.
because they did carry over 3 rifles, right? You bought up a judge to try to equal out.
Halo kamu Dani?
The econ. You can get one more.
Ih.
All right. Oh.
Terus gua harus ngapain, Cok? Terus gua harus ngapain, Cok? Kalau streamer pasif harus ngapain?
Trying to prove it again.
Bapak lu Aziz ya, Bib. Kenapa tiba-tiba bapak gua Aziz? Sok wingman dong.
Okay, it's a bonus, whatever. To
ya telat Gary random banget kok tiba-tiba bapak lu Aziz.
While Paperex, sure, they drop 3 rifles, they lose some more armor.
Biar
At the very least,
donat.
the plant didn't happen. So in terms of relative economy, Paperex
Bolong dong.
is feeling okay about it as well. The next
Ih,
round then
ngeding, coy.
becomes the ever so crucial buy round from
Ih,
both.
Aziz mah almarhum ya. Tebak coba.
Yeah. See, Forsaken does have a bulldog.
Donat.
Yeah, we're
jadi
going to have
donat.
one kind of off rifle on both sides, but there is that showstopper in the hands of Jing, and that's why Talon was
Almarhum mah
again,
latif
waiting for the
buat
push out. Governor, a good pick that allows for the crossfire trade.
Aduh,
excellently
lihat,
Just
ya
shutting
kan?
down that push out
Ban itu
from the side of Paperex. And now, I mean, you've got Mindfreak, he stays alive, but it's on 12 health.
Yeah,
So-
now you still have a minute left. You've still got that Viper that can lurk and put pressure onto A short. You know that 2 members died and they backed out of A short. So you're expecting the potential of this rotate. Talon, they're working off of that assumption, and Surf will now start to creep in. I think he's a little bit ahead of his teammates, but he'll even win the duel, so it's not going to matter
Mak
too
gue
much.
kan statusnya udah almarhum.
Yeah, spoken out by himself. Wins a 1v1. That's something they couldn't do a lot of times on the first map, so
No comment, guys.
it's a nice way to build up your confidence now. Divide here.
Udah aja udah.
Immediately gonna be taken
Fokus
out
guys tuh.
very
Astaga,
quickly
Cok,
by
3 di
Bad.
1 lawan 5 anjir. Enggak ikut-ikutan, bro.
Mindfreak's just gone for a save.
Yeah, has to. I mean, just 12 HP as well.
Ngapa jadi
Obviously, no creds left
mama
for him.
kamu Dani?
You'll
Orang
see
lagi.
if maybe you can catch a
Nih
cheeky
Gary
little lurk,
guys,
something like
kalian
that,
Gary nggak
trying
sih
to get into the
bahas-bahas
most unpredictable
Aziz?
position.
Itu
You imagine
Aziz
that
wingman.
attacker spawn will be cleared out by Talon. Look at this, they're early on the hunt because they know they're safe, right? It's just one person. You can still wrap around, so they have the
Aduh,
time
jadi
to
1 lawan
eventually
5
reach
gitu.
his position.
Sub-Band's face. In real life,
Aziz
he is very
wingman.
focused. He very much wants to get that
Suka-suka
kill.
lu lagi.
Not sure if it's going to happen, though. Let's see. Surf might be the first
Tadi itu
person.
Palatif
to
apa
get
Aziz
contact.
tuh
Down he
statusnya
goes.
udah sama
Can't lose too many
sama
members
mak
if you're
gue.
Talon.
Span.
Bloman
And he will
kocak
take
masih
him
ada
out, so-
sembarang banget nih lihat-lihat.
It's a very good trade for Talon. 1v1, they hold on to 4 rifles, and
Tadi
they hold
apa
on to
jadi?
lead.
Yeah, you get Seekers up for Ban as well. Currently topping the charts with 6 kills. I mean, this is also a very different ideal scoreboard here.
Tuh,
We've got
dengar kata Gary,
a couple
anaknya yang
people fragging out.
sama.
The Gecko just sitting there with assist, doesn't even need to get frags. Just
Ganti
all the team
topik
get
gak
onto
sih
the
bro?
site.
The hell?
Let's go.
Okay, yeah, you get the energy up for Talon, try
So
to make
excited.
it competitive. Yeah, you'll have to see that from Surf. I mean, he had an absolute excellent debut back in the Xerxia days, and now he's returned to that top tier
Maksud Gary
stage.
itu almarhum ini apa?
And that
Teman
was after
kita
he
yang
got taken
yang
out,
dipimpin
you know,
ngaji sama Gary
got
lu
the
lupa
information,
dan
his teammate cleans it up,
Gary
they win the
cowok
round
yang
in a big
mimpin
way.
ngaji.
So a lot to be excited about, even though he did go down.
Get
Here comes
ready for the
Talon.
next battle.
Lots of walls.
Apa
There's
jadi
the
next
Seekers
battle
as
tuh?
well, as they look to push onto the A site.
Yeah, it's just one on the site. They know that thanks to the Seekers, so it's just going to be a push through. You know you have the better
Okay, next.
weaponry. Governor trying to make sure he doesn't give
Skip.
an easy headshot away. I love the cautiousness from Talon on these
Udah,
anti-ecos.
aduh.
And now you have Showers control.
Udah
You stagger them
kubilang.
here. You have a
Ganti
shorty
top
and
nya,
lamps.
kocak.
So far, every round, Talon's been playing very clean.
Uh-oh. Don't want to go into that bubble. Devi will get one.
Gelo, ini respect
but
streamer
I
kah?
have a feeling that might be the only kill. Oh, maybe not. Something with the second one.
PRX
The
gocap ngapa
Scopins
jadi
aren't really, the
taruh
Zoomins
kan
aren't doing
gocap.
great here for Talon. We're looking for the one taps.
There's another one. It's not a lot of time here on the spike, but they're certainly taking a lot of blood with them. Something gets another kill, and they'll just take the TP out. So they take 4 rifles out and no,
Ih,
5.
digocek-gocek,
Something
bro.
with the 3K as Cruz tries to follow there and does not get the kill.
But you do have to consider this, right? Talon's fine for the next round, but kills give a,
Kita
not
lihat
much,
attack-nya
but
nanti ya,
some
bro.
extra creds as
Ebol-ebol
well.
nggak
Obviously, ult
attack-nya?
points, things like that. And that's not a round that should have ended that way. So, yeah, I get them peeking out and things like that early. I mean, yeah, for you got to keep the energy up.
Wah, udah banting
But
meja kah?
this
Lihat-lihat.
could be the difference maker down the road. Now Paper X, I mean, Achilleo said he thinks Paper X is going to have to call a timeout, but they definitely need one at this point.
Pom 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 pom
We'll see
pom.
who takes the round afterwards.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Our guess and gainers who are looking to gain
Banting
with their
meja cok,
unfortunate
iya anjir.
guesses. You see that both coaches actually pretty animated.
Belum.
Obviously, at this point, Alex a bit more. Not looking too angry just yet. I think it's hard to be angry after the way today has gone so far.
Yes.
But certainly a lot of things to fix still after the beginning of this map.
Yeah, and I think probably what Alex has seen is if you're gonna go for things like the 4-1, you gotta
Ini
be able to
apaan
push
dah?
out, right?
Ini
You gotta
apanya
be able
deh?
to take a
Aduh.
little bit more control of things like B main
Ganti lagi.
or Ace Showers. You know, just focusing on maybe holding onto hookah, maybe holding onto lamps, that's not going to get you much. And you realize that Talon, what they've been doing is the first read they get, they immediately pinch into both lanes on the other side of the map. So you really want to try to sell that a bit more. If you're not confident in pushing out right now, given how the first couple rounds have gone, maybe give them a little info, then you also try to over-rotate onto the other side.
Yeah, and it's still early on. I think it's a nice place to take a timeout where the team's feeling okay. Yes, they lost the round.
Feeling
but he picked
good.
A bunch of kills,
Like I
something's good
said.
to get back to the
Feeling
server
blessed.
after his 383 of the first map. And let's
Ini harus
see how
menang
this
sih.
after the
Byron
timeout
bro.
round
Kalau
is going
enggak,
to go as Governor has a not gonna fire it in there.
Yeah, just wants to gain even more
Gila,
information.
dikejar.
He knows it's too far.
Anjir,
from
pasang
distance.
backside,
Like
hah?
that. Tries to guarantee the kill. They're
Loh,
looking
pede
to
banget
push out
mereka.
as well. They know the Thrash is there. They know the retakes are there, but Mind Freak.
Loh,
Oh, and look at that. Also, detained was Governor.
Loh.
He gets taken out. This is nearly
what the fuck?
going to be a, no, it
What
is
the
going to be a
hell?
flawless. Paper X, they take one timeout,
What?
and they're right back in the driver's seat.
And that's just with the two ultimates, right? The Thrash and the
Loh,
Seekers.
kenapa
So
dia langsung
Talon wants
masang
to push
backside,
out
cok?
because they know that this can be a very quick.
Lihat something.
Used one, so
Something banyak yang
that's just
nge-throw,
gonna be
cok.
gone to the ether anyway. So they're trying to push out off of the showstopper. So you know that they've
Aduh, enak
used
banget
Cascade, you know
digituin,
the
coy.
Harbor's nearby somewhere. You want to try to catch that timing right before the Thrash is
Ih,
used to punish
ih
it.
gitu.
What is
Gila, for second, cok. Nembak apa,
That's
cok?
just not fair.
Oh my god.
Cheat kah, cheat?
Does that sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Wah, dia pakai fitur, guys. Fitur inspect
Listen, the previous
bundle
round,
baru.
all those weapons, now you're right back to a broken
Enggak ya?
Eco.
Yeah.
Here for Talon.
Yeah, so you get into the spot where,
Oke,
you know, Paper X kind of a slow start.
Gecko-nya ada ulti. Sama
Not too great if you are Talon.
Harbornya ada ulti.
They spot the push coming in. A lot of util already. as
Tapi
they
bisa
try to push
retake.
through As, Showstopper
Oh,
coming in
aduh,
from
dapat
Jake, but it's
dua.
a couple of frenzy kills for the side of Talon.
Do they know about
Ih, kena dong.
I don't think they really expect it.
Jangan mati, City.
Well, you've got that from the skies. And
Nice
now
banget,
the Pirates,
Dapai.
They do not know he is here. And Mind Freak trying to come on in. He is
Aduh,
not going to
GG
land
banget,
those
cok.
shots.
Stinger sekarang GG, guys.
Here comes
Alay,
Talon trying
cok.
to pick up this
Wah.
3 as there it is, the one quick snipe with
Alay coba. Stinger
Sheriff,
sekarang, cok.
And that is a thrifty win for Talon.
Yeah, I'd love to see the replay from Talon's perspective because Governor being planted in early was great. The thing is I'm pretty sure something saw that frenzy, maybe in the heat of the moment, doesn't quite catch it. Yeah, he goes for the wraparound, but Governor's just quicker, and the instant flood as soon as the mosh ends.
Tuh, lu lihat anjir
Call
apaan
from
sih
Talon.
Stinger?
You don't want to leave that Raze stranded, especially on an eco. Capitalize on the fact that you've got better run and gun weapons. They're back in the game, but now the operator. This is a big round for both sides.
Something OP.
Yeah, we'll see if something can hold on to it in this round, or if Talon is going to continue to come on strong in this second map. As they've been pretty aggressive. Here we go once again, the Trailblazer into Hookah. And this time
nice
it is
banget
going to
satu
be
doh.
a one
Itu
frame
spot
back, but
favoritnya.
once again,
Ih,
it is
dapet.
going to be a plant's coming in. Forsaken does get that headshot through the teleporter. This plan is
Spike,
coming down from the side of
spike
Talon.
apa? Spot favoritnya Manser gitu cuy.
Talon doesn't feel
Aduh,
stable.
aduh dogi
You
cok.
hear the
Aduh,
Trailblazer, you do.
aduh.
Cruz knows he has a timing. Oh,
Ih, masih dapet anjing. Nah, itu dia coy. Itu dia coy. Itu namanya it's all about timing, guys.
Oh, PaperX will take this.
Lihat Jing, lihat banyakin lu Jing.
Jing and the rest of PaperX
Itu
have been
cok.
having a bit of fun.
Itu yang bikin musuh trigger cok. Teninit.
Even if they're losing, some of the other ex-pros have stated that. One of the
Padahal nembus.
scariest things is you face
Lu
a
lihat,
team that's
ih
just
padahal
having
nabrak
fun. How do you
temboknya
beat
coy
that?
itu coy.
The pressure's not going to get to him. Unless for
Oh,
PaperX,
udah
their
dapat
grand
info
finals will be a
Harbor.
map advantage.
Behind you apa ya? Behind you.
The pressure
Oh
gets
ternyata
still met,
dapet
but they
dapet
have to win
info
a
coy.
bracket advantage.
Udah nggak dapet info.
But now the timeout coming out. So Talon, I do like that they tried to shift. Once PaperX call the timeout, they start to go for just, don't go for contact and then rotate. You immediately just start going in. Obviously, one of those was an eco round, but you try to get onto the site. But obviously, the post plant and the quick reactions to the TP wasn't quite expected. So I imagine off of this timeout, you're going to go back to a bit of a slower default, see if the push-outs happen again. Not too much to lose to go back to your own style that you had in the beginning of the map.
Absolutely. We'll see what Talon come back with. See, Frost has got a lot to say. This time around, Alex, once again, having a lot to say. A lot of animation, a lot of arm movements between these two coaches. It's exactly what we expected.
By the way,
exactly what we enjoy these two coaches.
Yeah, when I saw the bracket for this matchup, I did think it would be very fun to just sit backstage in between the two
Ewok
coach
apa
rooms.
DRX ya yang pakai gear sendiri
See if you
coy.
can, like, hear them right in the
Coach
middle of
juga
the
mau pakai
stage or
gear
something like
gaming
that.
anjir.
I would say you probably can.
Ganti keyboard sama ganti mouse.
Something, of course, holds on to his operator. And that was something I wanted to watch for coming into this next round. Picked up a couple of kills, I think, on that last one. And now he's going to look to hold on to Showers. Gets a nice little bird through the TP to help him clear this out.
Okay, so now you know that Showers has been taken over, right? That guiding light is meant to plant someone in Showers so they can keep a vision of it and have that priority. So Talon correctly reacting to at least hold on to B main control. So you've got some semblance of map control, but it doesn't feel stable yet. Oh,
Ya Allah timingnya.
You could tell that PaperX were not expecting that swing.
And the audio cut into B. I like this, right? The only contact you've had is on A short, and because you've been slow, no information given, by the way. Guiding light didn't tag anyone, nothing. Surf is still getting kills. You're waiting to hear movement on B site. You're still hearing nothing, so Talon just says, okay, just keep cutting audio. They have no idea where we are.
Gila
Worst case,
dijalanin
maybe we
cok.
go A, maybe we plant B, hold defender spawn,
Dapat
you've got
nggak
all
sih?
the options.
Low banget itu
We got a
Surf.
lot of time as well, still 40 seconds.
Ih somethingnya. Aduh somethingnya guys. Aduh somethingnya bro.
That wall up once again. He's gonna get.
Aduh somethingnya.
Lamps.
This is all to make sure that they can
Aduh,
clear this backside.
somethingnya,
Something has
bro.
fallen right into the trap, and he has no idea. That lurk. This is a lurker's lurk from Surf.
Wah udah sih.
Yeah, just hanging out for
Gue mau
everyone.
lihat reaksi pasnya guys gimana guys?
They don't know exactly where Devi is, but I don't think Devi is going to go anywhere near them. Talent, just a beautiful.
You have
round to take here, so
doggy lah gitu pasti kata coach Alex.
definitely feeling very nice for them, 6-3, and also feeling pretty good for Achilleos, currently tied in rounds one after.
Oh, you were keeping track,
in terms of timeouts. So PaperX got one, Talon got one. Still 2 more timeouts though.
It would be funny if Achilleos was the only one who got it correct despite misunderstanding the question.
Sometimes you just gotta.
Tapi udah mode Oni bro, udah mode Oni Phantom bro.
Devi picks
Bang
up
Dapai.
one, but the wrap is coming in here from Talon, and Governor will pick up that kill. So 6-3,
Aduh.
and they
Geli.
take out Devi.
Gak kecek
Yeah,
gitu
and
loh.
Governor gets closer to another showstopper. All things said and done, Talon feeling good about their position so far. I mean, this peek out, Surf And he sticks it despite the boombot. That's good too. But the best thing is the putting up the toxic screen again. So now whoever's on A site has to back out into back site because you don't know about
wingman juga
lamps.
kaget
Because
itu
you haven't
guys.
seen the op yet, because it wasn't
Anjing kok
BB, you're
rame.
imagining that's in showers. Like, this was all very well read from Talon.
Yeah. Well, they totally controlled that entire round and got into the heads of Paper X, perhaps. As here comes something once again, but he's going to drop the shot. We haven't seen a lot of that today. But it is going to happen this time. And Talon, you know, they see a couple of guys out there.
Lama anjing ngantuk
Back
cok
away. We do have a
attackernya.
big presence over by Showers for them.
So Talon, a bit of a curveball now. Before the first couple rounds, it's contact, immediately rotate on a pinch. But
Mati
now
lu.
because of the op,
Nah
wondering if
itu
it's a rotate.
bener kan apa kata gua?
At the very least, they know it's not. The op's still
Udah
on the
feeling
B
banget lu
side.
guys.
Some spam going through the wall there. And something did get that pick off
Diganti observer dong cok.
near the fountain.
You have the Thrash. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this to push the op out, right? Even if he TP's out, that makes B
keinget
side
ini
very weak
anjir.
because your entire force was spotted in
Kod
showers.
Justin cok. Si
So if you
Koci.
can
Kamera
get onto the
goblok.
site and just
AFC
make that
tolong.
op go away. Oh, the Seekers are going to get so much information.
AFC aja
That
disalahin
Trailblazer fake
anjing.
is not working out on the A site.
Yeah, definitely is not. Here comes the Thrash. Vi is going to spot it, eating a bunch of damage.
Ih,
from
itu udah
the
loncat.
snake bite,
Itu udah
as
loncat.
now on the back of
Nice.
this one Governor, not going to hit anyone. Vi in a bit of trouble, but he's able to survive and get into the globe, but now he does go down. Here comes the rest of Paper X. Surf up top here. He is going to take out a bunch of them. Two alongside a
kayak puyeng
Cruz.
banget
And
mainnya
you're
dah.
the TP. You know he's back. I mean, something's going to try to go for the wraparound, but you know he has an op. If you can stick together and just not give a collat. Oh, caught
Aduh
sight of him.
kelihatan.
Yeah.
Ih.
Well,
Ih.
Oh,
Ih.
the timing. Something.
As long as you just don't double up, yeah.
Ah, kelihatan. Cok.
Yeah, he tried to get out. Nicely done from Talon. 7-3. A
Respect
much
streamer kah mereka?
different looking map this time around.
Yeah, and again, this is impressive from Talon to bounce back on your opponent's pick. I mean, sure, I'm sure you prepped it. You got to imagine that this pick was coming in, unless you banned it.
Nice! Let's go.
Wah,
And we
udah
get
timeout
a
lagi
third
bro.
timeout. The second one from Paper X.
This is when you know that Paper X has been challenged, right? When both timeouts are used in the first half. It only happens when Coach Alex really feels the need to course correct. Doesn't look too angry, which I would agree. I don't think it's necessarily that the reads were completely off, things like that. But it's just a couple of timings where you could have had a better advantage, right? You didn't need to necessarily go for certain duels, things like that.
He looks very stern, though.
He does look stern.
Some pretty large arm movements right at the end as well. I don't know. He's getting a little frustrated for sure. And maybe this is the moment, as Achilles was talking about before, you know, maybe you just turn off your brains, go for some aggressive rotations, and try to get on them. We've seen a lot of buying from Paper X, and it looked a bit more aggressive than what we're seeing so far, even from the defense. So maybe just trying to say to his team, okay, it's time to up the tempo here.
Yeah, it does feel like he also wanted to talk a lot about rotations just based on hand movements. Obviously, we can't read all their lips, but so I do wonder if he wants them to be a bit more fluid, right? Push out, rotate, kind of rinse, repeat. And for now, it is going to be a push out onto Showers. Obviously, a bit of a broken buy this time around for Paper Rex. That gives him the orbital strike.
Yeah. So they got that, and
Dua
it's
ulti
very
guys,
similar
dua
to what
ulti
we
nggak
saw
dapat juga sih,
earlier
nggak
on,
ngerti lagi
where
gua.
Jing was the one hitting the orb, and they were able to win like a 2v2 over there. So maybe trying to go back to a certain kind of maneuver strategy that worked out for them in a round in the past. This time around, though, you see that Talon, after the timeout, they're just playing it very passively. Just, you know, looking for some contact over by the TP. But other than that, just slowly playing this one.
Yeah, I mean, with that broken buy again, so Surf trying to hope that he can get another timing, but he is drawing out
Bang,
all the
jangan
smoke, so you
ngupil.
know that
Maaf,
Brutus is
hidung aku
somewhere
gatel.
on A. He's wary of his flank, and that means Talon, they're ready to strike onto B. You've got double smokes on the side. He even
Nice.
wins one fight. That's great news. Numbers now dwindle down. B side has to be weaker. They're waiting
Dapat satu
for that
kasih Pai.
harbor
Ayo
wall
Pai.
to die down.
Ih, nggak ada yang kena.
Divine not gonna take any shots here. He's
Thrash.
gonna spot
Aduh.
them
Kena itu.
running out into the teleporter.
Man, He's detained. They're trying to chase him.
Wah, Jing, ayo Jing.
Well,
Satu
here they
Jing.
come,
Ah,
out
nice.
to the A site.
Nice.
Forsaken here as well. Plan's coming down, and Forsaken.
Ih, reload.
the reload, but he doesn't have any ammo.
Ih, hoki
That's
banget
going to be rough for
anjing.
him. Something able to upgrade here. And goes for the peek.
10 seconds left.
Trying to run away. Here's Ban, and Ban is going to pick it up. Excellently done. Even Seeker's committed to just to find out where Dubai is. They want this round, and they will have it. 3 kills for Jit Boys, and it's 8-3 for Talon.
And I love the Seekers at the end because you didn't see him in showers, but the Reckoning didn't hit either because Dubai waited. So you're like, well, is he short? Is he, is he backside? But at the end of the day, if you can get to 8, you're already feeling comfy for the first half.
Aduh, itu reload
so it's a
sayang
good call
banget
by
coy.
Minion to just send the Seekers, lock in the round.
Nice try dah.
And overall, I mean, Surf on the lurk has been so valuable. Let's Talon just get hard reads onto PaperX's setup.
Yeah, it has been kind of insane what he's able to do on this map here. Van also putting up some big numbers. Trailblazer now going to come out of shorts. Get some information. A couple of walls come up as Talon are running at them.
Nah, dapat nih.
Yeah, now it's going to be the far wraparound all the way. Jit Boys even beats out the judge. So now you imagine, you didn't hear a TP, you're not seeing the backside, you're ready for the flank. Absolutely, Ben gets 2.
Pretty huge stuff. I mean, he gets early contact. He takes out 2 of them, and now
Aduh.
PaperX, they kind of just have to force it. And that's not going to look good for them. As meanwhile,
Aduh,
Cruz has an
bokong.
amazing flank on both of them. As the Governor will take him down. That's 9-3 at the half in favor of Talon. Looking
Nice
very
try.
different from our first map.
Yeah, Talon
Attacker-nya
looks
58
very
bro.
confident in their
Defender-nya
reads. They look comfortable.
55.
And it seems that whatever they prepped about the tendencies of PaperX, it's been good. I mean, obviously it helps to have a blazing start yourselves, right? I mean, we're starting to see some whiffs from PaperX. That magic that we saw in Lotus, it's not getting replicated, win or lose the round. So props to Talon
Anjir.
on bouncing back.
6 win 1 loss.
See if they can keep it up on the defensive half,
Wah.
though. Obviously, PaperX, attack-sided specialist, so to speak. Although I guess the stats, too,
Lihat.
they do have the highest defense side rate so far coming into the
86% anjir.
playoffs.
Nice little drawing there.
Tapi banyakan ini sih tetap. Dia baru 6 kali main
Got overly
anjir.
excited after
7
that
kali
one,
cok.
the wrong way. Yeah, you might want to save that. It's not
Sorry
over
dah.
just yet.
Yeah, you can put it back together.
Sorry dah, nggak fokus
I
dia.
think we have some tape.
Yeah, we should put some tape out there just in case.
Yeah. That's interesting. I love you, Jing, with a bunch of hearts sitting next to what looked to be her partner.
That middle fan said he's actually a TRX fan, so PaperX tried to steal my heart. Well, map 1, I think
Anjir
you were
udah kayak
on the
nonton
way, but
bioskop, Cok.
map 2 looking a little rough.
Well, it's a new half. It's a new day here on Bind. We saw T1 earlier on. They went down. It was 9-3, right? Or was it 8-4? I think it was 9-3.
Yeah.
The first half of Sunset. Yeah, it was 9-3.
The curse
and then
struck.
T1 came back. So, Brex, you've got an opportunity, but Talon looking very strong on this one.
Oh, I like the switch to the Frenzy from Cruz. You gotta expect that it's gonna be a flood. So again, that's kind of the big difference, right?
Ini harus
Without the
menang
Viper,
pistol
they're
run
not
sih.
going for hard lurks, but you just have
Kalau
the
nggak
extra
susah
smoke so
banget,
you
bro.
can keep inching forward, keep pushing forward, get that extra reach. Got double Frenzies on the side of PaperX as well.
Oh, that grenade getting a lot of value, but here comes Jing just running straight at them, and through they come on in as everybody tries to go on the teleporter, and they just get annihilated.
Absolutely the hardest of reads here.
Read.
Where they just all wait.
Read like
just
a book,
solo
bro.
charging through the site while everyone waits for the trap.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the toxic screen a little bit telling, but still. Great read from PaperX.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Read like a book, bro.
You know,
Read
you
like a
talked about
book,
win
bro.
rates, but certainly PaperX look,
Lihat,
they
dapat.
look pretty comfortable, you could
Dapat
say.
ganggu.
And now we're just kind of jumping at the enemy just for
Dia
fun.
loncat-loncat, Cok.
And PaperX are back on the board. So 9-4, they take the pistol rounds. Potential 9-5 on the cards.
Ada gila-gilanya apa anjir?
Yeah, it's definitely looking very likely. I mean, this is just knowing that the Frenzy, also the running and control very good, but then everyone just holds. I mean, Jing's just still walking into the site if you look at the minimap.
Yeah.
Everyone just says, all right, Jing, go get the site ready for us, warm up the
Yang
seat.
masuk baru Jing, yang nungguin TP-nya 3
They're just
orang,
spamming
Cok.
through the talk screen like, okay, we know that they have all come through, and it's easy pickings for them. as here come Paper X once again. Very fast, not giving any time for Talon to set up anything as the Dizzy gonna get some value, but already 2 kills here for the side of Paper X as now Jing trying to get in their face, and that they will. Divide gonna pick up the kill, and it's 3, or rather 5 against 2, and 5 against 1.
Oh man, you did not want this to go into a flawless, but Governor will say 40 seconds on the clock, 40 seconds for everyone to buy the Talon capsule. And that's about all he can do. He does have to die. And I think he's debating probably jumping into the TP to get in range, except that Forsaken is waiting on the other side. So is something.
And everybody else is clearing out the other angles.
Yeah, they have made sure that he cannot possibly die to the spike.
Yeah. Well, he's probably going to try anyway.
It was best.
You would imagine. Let's see the timing of this one.
Oh, it's right there. Okay, right by the door.
Just going to get on in there. Nicely done by Governor. And there's nothing that Divide can do, of course. So Paper X 2 rounds in a row as they get on the board here in the second half. Once again, coming at them pretty strong. Outside of the teleporter.
You saw the Spectres, right? So that's what they carry over. You gotta expect another flood execute.
Let's go.
It doesn't have to be a rush, but it has to be a flood.
So
Talon, how do they prepare for it? Yeah, you can try to match them, but dude, with Jing's blast pass, I don't know about matching them on showers. They are gonna wait.
Yeah, here comes Jing once again, as this time around the headshots ring true for the side of Cruz. Ban is there as well.
Nice.
As Mindfreak will pick up
Dapat 2 udah mahal.
the Bulldog of his own. They also get the orb, so that is something, but still looking pretty good for the side of Talon. That is
rifle's picked up.
Yeah. Gives them a chance.
Lihat surfnya ngapain coba lihat.
Governor has to go huge here. He has to get so much information, and he only has to judge, so he can't get too greedy.
Aaron?
Yeah, just has to hold here for info.
Aaron?
Yeah. Well, there's the info.
Yeah, I wonder if P4X gets the read, right? Like, okay, why aren't you challenging us with a gun out?
Aduh,
so
dikejar. Kalau gue beneran dikejar.
A little wary of it.
Kalau gue beneran dikejar sih, aduh.
Gun. You can look at the econ, you can kind of get a good inkling of it.
Yeah. Jets, coy.
In which case, you probably
belum
don't
ketahuan
want to run
Jetsnya.
towards it. They're just going to put up a harbor wall and try to sneak in through lamps here, it looks like. But
jump peak not quite getting it, as that high tide, of course, matches the elevation of the ground.
Just pushing all the way through, sir. Very quick on that one. Mindfreak does trade it back, but he is alone, and down he goes. Nice shot here from Jip.
Aduh, dia tembusin wallnya sendiri, Cok.
For the side of Paper X, and Talon are at 10.
Yeah, I mean, a desperate recovery on that round, because it was a good start. And, I mean, you don't blame Ban. There we go. That's a tongue twister.
You don't blame.
You don't blame Ban on Bind. Oh, wow, okay. We got a lot of people out here. Looks like a Talon watch party.
Wah, audionya rusak, anjing.
But yeah, for Ban swinging out, it's just that Mindfreak, swings back in. That catches him off guard a little bit on his movement.
Aduh. Coba nunggu turun ya. Bisa dapat itu.
Able to pick up another one, a triple stack
Kena
on
slow
A.
soalnya nggak bisa di swing,
B is just meant to delay with the toxic screen.
10-5, guys.
They are very much expecting someone to be there, but as we know, everybody on the side of Paper X over towards B.
Man thinks he has an opening. But yeah, I like the back out because he tried to get past the cascade after not being tagged by the guiding light, but the Trailblazer pushes him back.
Pai dapat nggak sih? Aduh, Pai.
Oh! Oh, that high tide really messed things up, and now he's just stuck in this duel forever.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of the team trying to push on in. Jing is going to
Ketahuan dong harusnya.
open things up.
Dua.
Freaking Jing, the only two alive.
Aduh, bareng aja nggak sih?
Meanwhile, the other couple of guys that were alive still on the rotation as the spike will be planted.
Please, Bang Mindfreak.
1v1s.
Mindfreak!
They will win one.
30 HP on Governor. Jing has to pull off a masterclass of a 1v2.
We've cleared all the other options. The showstopper, Governor!
He hits him! Just clips him, Governor, on 30 health! And that is barely enough to clutch it out. Jing just barely holds on to that round for Paper X.
Oh man, what a necessary clutch. And you know, in my head I was thinking like, why didn't they just let Mind Freak plant? He would have had the orbital strike. But position-wise, he was already in place, and it all works out. You can get the showstopper. Gets him the guarantee. I mean, Governor tries to fake him out by going above. That's the best shot Governor had. It's the elevation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it nearly worked. As now, once again, Paper X say, okay, well, this has been working for us. Some pressure in.
Iko sih, jangan sampai kena thrifty sih.
And,
aduh, Jing.
There's 4 people
Balik.
Talon have read this.
Tuh lihat alay banget, stinger tai gitu, Cok.
Yeah, now just, I mean, you saw how many people there were. It's an eco round for your opponents. No reason to pressure it. I mean, Talon, they were trying to make sure they can still secure an orb at the very least.
Clearin dulu nggak sih?
Here's everybody. They're ready for it, though.
Ah, Mind Freak. Ini jatah Mind Freak loh.
But he has the classic, and Mind Freak is going to check it. Takes him down. Gets healed.
Spike planted.
Itu dia, jatah Mind Freak itu namanya,
Out
Pak.
of range, but obviously quite well suspected.
Bam.
Maybe not the stinger, though.
There we go again. I mean, this guy is he's pretty good at hitting those. And now
Orang Malang baru bangun.
Picks him off. Something here as well.
Jelas anjing. Tuh lihat geding lagi, Cok.
Sneaking his way in.
Yeah,
nerf nggak sih, stinger nerf.
Right? He's not there for the trades. He has to be coming from the other side.
Nice.
Jing's ready for it.
Ya baru bangun kah? Si Bella.
Doing his best right now to keep Paper X in the fight, and that they are. Only 3
Sudah
rounds
kayak
away.
Vandal,
It's
Cok.
kind of a similar
Stinger
situation
sekarang
as
aja.
that first match we had,
Yeah.
where Talon is. They're not that close to map point just yet.
No, it's definitely a bit away.
Get the spike wings.
Decent looks here from the side of Talon in this round,
Tuh
but
lihat,
obviously not even
norak, Cok.
much done with classics and sheriffs. You can see something. He's not celebrating just yet.
Yeah, they
Still
got a
some
ways
work
to go. Thrash on both sides. You've got Seekers and an orbital strike for Paper X as well.
Oh yeah.
They'll
Saya
be
lilhami.
to get into the site to deny it rather than just using it for post plant. Obviously, they'll be happy to do so if it's easy. But the early thrash. Now you even have a lurk and lamps. You've still got control of
Aduh,
B as well.
showernya. Ih, nice banget. Ih.
They're just going to TP on over towards
Gak
B.
kena, Cok.
Governor on the back of the site here. He's not able to hit any shots, and they're not going to commit to it, actually.
OP guys. Go back.
Once
OP.
again, that lurk you mentioned before, Forsaken just sticking in lamps.
Forsaken dapat info, bro.
Interesting.
Di
But
lamps.
Lamps does suspect it, right? That's why he's still holding on to triple, because the rotation's there in time. They have to clear out lamps, and that's exactly what they'll do. Forsaken spotted. Lamps retaken. Thrash is chasing him around.
Uh-oh. Sir, huge in lamps, and he will stay alive after picking up those 2 kills. Now he's just trying to get out with his life, and he will.
Ih, timingnya apa
Survives.
sih?
Yes, the plant does come
Wih,
down.
nice
That's
banget,
a
something.
nice shot through the box here from something.
Ah, dapat nih Mind
Mind Freak
Freak.
trying to hold down the showers as well, but Van expects
Itu
it
Mind
doesn't
Freak.
matter. Mind Freak able to get the kill. And now he's looking for more. He picks up 2. Meanwhile, some spam through from something. It's a 2-on-2 as in comes Divine. And it's up to something 1v2.
Ya
It's not
ampun,
gonna happen.
reload.
Surf picks up the 4K.
Oh, gila surfnya
Massive
tuh.
round from the youngster on Talon. He said he's back to help represent Thailand here in VCT Pacific, and he is doing a bang-up job putting them on the map. I mean, he did everything. He reclaimed control of lamps, he held on to it, he swings for the trade, gets the flank. I mean, absolutely beautiful play from Serve. I love his energy, man.
Yeah.
It's just so raw. You love to see it.
Oh yeah, he's having a great time. Governor here, he does not have enough money for any armor.
Yeah, glass cannon. I mean, yeah, it's an op. 1 shot, 1 kill.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets the showstopper as well. They use the cove, it appears, to get the showstopper.
Here we go.
He sends it.
Yeah, he's gonna go in onto that B site. Governor on the back here. Well, that glass cannon didn't quite work at close range operator.
Doesn't know the wraparound.
Bingung loh.
Uh-oh.
Ih,
Jimbo
masih
still
dah.
able to get the kill. And for some reason, he is still alive. That's another kill going the way of Jip Boys. He picks up 3, and Paper X
Masih
kind of dropped the
dapet.
ball there. Talent
Apa sih nggak
excellently
jelas
done.
banget anjir.
What in the world, Jit Boys? It looked like he was going to be late for the swing around and Devi, but then when he's doing that, you'd think the wraparound's coming from tube,
Aduh, sunset lagi.
but it doesn't because it has a judge, so they're going into tube, and he is just swiveling on a pivot. Paper X, obviously no more timeouts left either.
Yeah, they had to use both in the first half. And, I mean, Talon, they tried to bring out Lotus, maybe something they were comfortable with, but it really feels like they have prepped a lot for Bind, as this has been the one where they have dominated Paper X. Somewhat surprisingly, but it looks very nice.
Oh, and the push out.
Oh, boy.
Dude, the control and the tempo is just perfect from Talon. You already have map point. You're feeling comfy. The opponents are in an eco, so you try to throw the curveball by pushing out yourselves. It's an important kill, too. No Gecko. That means on the spike plant, they're going to be down in numbers. And Governor, he's just holding on to Heaven. He just wants to make sure they don't get all the way into defender spawn. You're even going to send the TP. But Cruz is meant to just draw attention. The real force is still going to be the flank all the way around through A short.
Spike planted.
Well, he's cleared out showers mostly. Still have Mind Freak over here. Cruz, he's like, all right, you know, maybe I'll take a little bit of time wait for my team to actually push in before I go for this. He's gonna pick it up, and there's the kill. Quick headshot going his way. Devi, though, he's clean and short. Picks up 2, maybe 3, but not quite enough. And now it's all up to Forsaken. Devi gave him a chance. Can he put the lid on it and bring them back? No, he will not. Talon will take the second map in a huge way, 13-7.
Absolutely. The score isn't as one-sided, but overall the momentum in that first half absolutely felt like it, and the recovery was solid on the defense. Talon, good reads and amazing aims. The lurks just perfect from Surf, but we'll send it over to the desk to break it down a little bit further.
And suddenly we feel like balance is restored somewhat to Pacific. It was leaning heavily in favor of one earlier, but now it seems like, okay, this was a little bit better, but this was PRX's map pick, so this confuses me too.
And well, this is something that I kind of touched on when I was going through my copium segment of as far as, you know, what Talon could look forward to. And clearly, a lot of preparation did go into this bind, but also seemingly, for the side of Paper X, just not enough blood back to the brains a little bit there. There was too much of a head rush after that 13-0. It felt like they couldn't really recollect themselves. They couldn't bring themselves down off that high. Because right off the rip, we saw, you know, just whiff shots from nailing absolutely every single shot they were going for on Lotus. A ton of whiffage was happening here early on Bind.
Totally whiffage. I mean, there are these moments where, yeah, exactly what Achilles is saying. You're holding an off angle. You know you're supposed to get that kill. You can't miss that shot, but, you know, like cortisol, adrenaline or something, and you start to shake, and sometimes those whiffs come through. And, I mean, credit to Talon, truly, because I was confused about, like, why they left Bind open. This is, like, Paper X's undefeated map pick, like 3-0. And then they intentionally left it open. You see that timeout, I think it was, like, round 9 from Coach Frost, and they pull off that, like, stealth strat of just...
Rotating all the way around.
Oh
they
my
went
God.
all around the world.
Right, and it's all the way around. Like, they got B. You think they're going to stop there. No. We're just going to wrap all the way back around, sneak and infiltrate behind your site, and Paper X is none the wiser. Like, that is incredible, incredibly impressive stuff from Talon. But on the other hand, I mean, Surf, what was that, like, quadruple? It should have been an ace.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those last few rounds, Surf was looking alive and
Bam.
on that Viper. Could be saying goodbye to this team. And again, this is a squad that has not missed out on qualification for international events since 2021. It's been 931 days since they lost that faded game to Damwon in the 2021 LCQ. It would be absolutely insane for it to happen here today.
I mean, after a 13.
Quack and I were like,
And after starting things off with a 13-0 victory in the series, that would be such a testament to talent. I mean, already already going back in it and looking dominant here on Bind is already such a strong testament to their ability to be able to recuperate after that devastating loss. Can they close it? That's the question. Because now it's Paper Rex, they have to be the ones to bounce back.
So I kind of miss like that Cypher cam, the spy cam that we had from last year. You know, I can't imagine what's going on in the back of Paper Rex's, you know, ready rooms right now because they have to be discussing something. They definitely overheated on this map. There were, you know, not just moments where there's like whiffage going through. There were these moments where they started to go in for these individual peaks, ego peaks. They wanted to get those kills so bad. They believed that they could do it against Talon, but it was not meant to be. Talon was just a lot steadier on this map pick. So Sunset then is like the question, right? Because Talon has only played that once.
My smile is like this right now because I'm like, this could potentially mean, you know, a really, really big upset, especially since Paper Rex, I mean, after the 13-0, as we were saying, you know, it was like perfect Valorant. Suddenly, you know, you're looking at Talon, and they're looking like a team that's gone the worst and prepared to come back. And I think that is incredibly scary, especially for Paper Rex right now that are coming off of, like, you know, scratching their heads and maybe acknowledging that they're not exactly, you know, on the same page right now.
Yeah, I mean, things very much disconnected. I mean, achieving perfection is already so difficult. They managed to do that, but it's completely unsustainable. I think that they got maybe a little bit too heated up, a little bit too cocky, perhaps, going into that bind because, like you're saying, I mean, there's so many moments where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to swing through this harbor wall, unassisted, no flash or anything, really to try to go for it, and I'm just going to, you know, I'm just going to dip them. And then they were just getting knocked down time and time again. There's so many just odd decision-making moments here from the side of Paper Rex where it was paying off for them every single time back over on Lotus. This time around, it wasn't going their way at all, but we continue to see those efforts still be made. So it was really good capitalization from the side of Talon. And, you know, it's another map. They've only played Sunset once themselves, but they have gotten to see multiple different looks, multiple iterations from Paper Rex that they can and will have studied. So have they done enough? Do they have a solid enough understanding on that map to be able to break this down, much like they did on Bind?
I'm just like listening to Achilles. I'm actually a little bit nervous right now for Paper X because of everything they're saying. Yeah.
You're like literally squirming right now.
Actually, like the Paper X fan in me is like, oh my god, please, please, please. Because again, like Talon is such an incredible team. Coach Frost is pretty incredible as well. And they've had like, what, 4 days since Monday against that match against Team Secret. Have they had enough time to really prepare that much? Because Bind, clearly they prepared. Sunset, was that something that they anticipated? And Paper X's Sunset is not something that you want to scoff at either. Then you think about the pressure of this being a knockout match as well. Is that going to cause Paper X to shake even more?
Well, I guess, like, you know, talking to Coach Frost is a good thing because Talon got 2 wins after their timeout compared to Paper X getting 1 win, which means
I was this close to actually being able to get the tie prediction.
Yeah.
If Paper X if they converted a bonus, they get a timeout from Frost immediately. They'd be going in with an eco, it gets tied up. I look like a genius. I completely misunderstood the rules of the game when I went for this. But I also probably still would have been wrong because I would have gone with everybody else and said Paper X.
I'm just going to go down proudly.
Everybody's going down. If it helps everybody,
join me.
What happens here? Production. What happens? What is life after Iron?
We just
what do we do? You just stay here?
Yeah.
Like, okay, somebody whose birthday it is today, by the way, suggested that we probably should put like a trash can here. But yes, we will round down. Come with me, viewers. Let's go on a journey back to Platinum over here. Meanwhile, question mark at the moment, but yeah.
One day, you will all be joining me. It's gonna happen. Everyone's just gonna slip down. You will sulk with me and Quack in our pit of despair.
For now, though, take pride, Iron Man. You will stay there a little bit further, and perhaps even for the rest of the week. But we'll see. Getting back into this, though, again, if you're not already nervous about your Iron there, I'm pretty much sweating for what might happen. PRX and Sunset, yes, looking really good. However, I would say Talon right now, the momentum is in their favor. So, like you, Quack, I'm a little bit nervous. My hands are actually shaking. If you can see that. You can't see that. It's too small. But yes, my hands are shaking.
I mean, momentum can only go so far. Clearly, you can off stage and immediately cooling them off. Just like, don't ride the high of getting that.
Lama lah ngomong mulu Cok, langsung aja nggak sih? Langsung aja nggak sih bro?
Why are you guys excited? We still have a game to play.
Up 3 segala anjing lah.
We didn't get 13-0'd. We did not just win on bind. We're playing a best of 1 on Sunset versus Paper Rex. That's kind of has to be the focus, and it's very similar for Paper Rex's camp.
It's a total reset. It's a really helpful mentality as well, especially when you're doing such intense competitions like this, right? Right now, we are about to check out Agent Select into Sunset. Are we expecting anything right now, especially since the circumstances, Quack, are so dire?
Ya ampun ini salah dong gua anjir. Janjinya kalah ya kemarin ya.
You just have to go with what's tried and true. Everything that you've practiced before in scrims, try to pull out the performance as best as possible. We've seen that something Gecko before. We saw it on Bind.
Nggak milih lagi gua nih.
Mixed performances. You know, the last time Paper Rex played this, it was against Team Secret. They didn't do too well either. So there is, you know, that slight nerves coming through.
Mako BN Davai Bas something Jemkin Manfred.
Ooh, and we've got a substitution coming on in. It's gonna be Lenny out. Oh, wait, what was that?
Lene. Loh Lene yang dimasukin.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Thoughts on this, gentlemen?
Nah ini bro, pakai skema ini nggak sih? Oh ini skema yang, oh iya skema yang kemarin ya, yang pakai bridge ya? Bridge. Mudah-mudahan masih work guys.
Sunset. The Sage does play against this Neon quite well. The slow orbs, the walls, etc. All of that helping you to really slow down that pacey attack that you're
Gila tegang banget Talon bro. Watchnya bro. Apa Alexnya yang ini pura-pura santai?
The main guy to play that. No one else really has that flexibility. But Lenny, how warmed up is he going to be? He's been sat back. He's been watching. He watches him get devastated on Los. He watches them win on Bind. Is he informed off the rip?
Big questions, and we're gonna get the answers as we pass it.
Mulai guys.
Thank you so much, Analyst Desk, for breaking down that Talon win. Our guests and gainers just keep on going down. Everybody, including the viewers.
Yeah, where's the gain and the guess and gain, you know?
It's just guess and lose today, man. I don't know. But it's big wins for Talon, right? And I think that nobody really expected that, especially after the 13-0. That's part of why nobody won the guess and gain. So here we go. Talon by themselves, a third map, and Paper Rex. You heard them talking about how you got to cool down Talon after that first one, but I can't imagine. You know, Alex had a couple of timeouts. Ooh,
Aduh Neon ya.
But still, Paper Rex weren't able to win on Bind.
All right, draws out the Paranoia as well. I mean, that's a lot of
value.
Neon
dia sih, Neon Governor bahaya
coy. Paranoia and B. So you know that A has to be a free site. The only thing is how do you combat the retake? You know the cooldowns are still there for the breach. The Paranoia no longer.
Ih, kena itu Cok, something Cok.
Push back in, and this counter recon set up for a timing.
Wah,
They hear the flank.
Yeah.
Tripwire destroyed.
It's going to be up to Lenny potentially, Ban, and the rest of them checking in there. Everybody trying to push on in. And they are going to be cut down. Lenny getting that first kill.
This regroup is good towards the back of sight. It's a good clear.
Clear that out. Lenny is going to be taken out now. As Talon just trying to sit in the smoke, trying to wait on this one. They want to clear it out. Forsaken will be able to. And Jip Boys has got to try to spam through, but it's not quite enough. But they do stop the defuse. But there's simply enough time with the second half. Easily done. Paper X, though, that was not an easily done round. Certainly a lot of fireworks going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy for Paper X, but it just shouldn't have ever been Paper X's to begin with. The read to push back. I mean, Lenny losing that duel, fine. You know, you could consider it's a bit of 50-50, but Ban losing on that duel in the smoke, that is rough. You were meant to just get one more guy, just buy enough time. That is a rough one. The surprises continue from Paper X. The setup overall was so good from Talon. I mean, even this comp coming out, you know, taking it from Team Heretics, a page out of their book. Obviously, Frost has talked about Governor's Neon and how good it is before, so
Ih, gila itu.
Suspected it a bit.
Sabar dulu. Lenenya alay lah, lenenya alay no.
Slid in to say hello. And now
Sofa Aldo banget guys pakai sorti bro.
Bit by bit, Talon trying to make their presence felt on this map, but they're just locking up.
Nice. Bam 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 bam.
He will not get it though. Screws wins with a classic, and then Forsaken has to end.
Yeah, a little bit of a hard deny there on the ace.
Udah jadi mati kan kamu bang main freak.
Silver lining there is obviously your eco, but also at least it's the omen, right? At least all you're giving up is from the shadows. Yeah, he can ult and close doors now, but it's not the scariest ult in the world.
Ih, masih 5 padahal ya.
He knows what he did. Device shaking his head a little bit too with a grin. Early null command for Cruz, so Talon
Masih
still
5 padahal
keeping up
Bulldog
on the
guys
resources
langsung
quite
ganti.
well. The early 4 kills helps a lot.
That definitely does, and they're coming in quick, but that is a judge to the face. Something is going to be spotted. They are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him off the wall, but Jing is still here, and they have not cleared this out. As, you know, he's going to be taken out at
Bang Por, balik Bang Por.
But certainly a bit iffy there. As now trying to move on and
jam
trying to
lu
swing.
Por.
3 health is going to win that trade.
Yeah, but they're so low. 3 health, like you said, 43 for Lenny. This is their buy round.
Enable guys. 2 orang low.
Be absolutely brutal here. Divide.
Itu dia angkel.
Until the channel finishes.
Oh,
and that's the
enable bro, bener kan? Please barengan, please barengan.
Not gonna happen.
Nggak perlu bro. Ada main freak. Nggak perlu barengan. Nggak perlu bro.
And that one, I mean, this was getting pretty hectic. You know, it feels like both teams are really upping the tempo. But people are winning out in these big trades when it matters most.
Yeah, and they just know exactly what they need to do to counteract the Neon, right?
Banyakin lu sliding kok.
The judges will shut it down.
Lu mau sliding siapa? Sliding Messi kok.
Obviously, the bonus round, it's an easier decision to make. But this is something that Talon are going to have to start to watch out for. I mean, they're obviously relying on Neon buying a lot of space.
Aduh, apalagi tag boss.
He doesn't have to get the kills. You can just create space. The rest of your team trades out, but
ada aja ulurannya, Cok. Kakak siapa itu, bro? Ini kakak siapa, guys?
So we do have a bit of a tech pause here. Sorry about the delay. We'll try to get this solved as soon as possible. Looks like potentially a monitor.
Yeah, looks like Mind Freak's
monitor. Oh, Mind Freak, Cok. Yang tag post.
They're tweaking it a bit, it looks like. Maybe Mind Freak spent the past round trying to figure out why he didn't get the ace in the round.
Kenapa anjir?
Like, you know what? Maybe it was the monitor.
Kenapa anjir monitor? Monitor kah?
That's what I always say. Maybe it looked a little loose or something. I don't know. It looked fine, but you know, we can only see one side of the monitor.
Yeah. Obviously, they always kind of double check these things before the pause is respected. But I was wondering, because I wouldn't have been surprised, depending on how the comms are going for Talon, that maybe a timeout comes out here, right? Because if the comms are also getting a little hectic, a little overheated, maybe.
Ini orang Indo kah?
Oh, we've got. I'm.
Kayak orang Indo guys itu guys.
Please take swimming.
Woo, cool, eat. TALON. The Arc Swing.
I know a lot of people excited to see the outcome for this, and obviously a lot of the co-streamers joining us all around the world. Lots of fans for Paper X, but got Talon fans sprinkled throughout as well. Yeah. Oh, that's Surf right below, by the way. He's just hanging out. He's chilling. He's already done his job. Brought him back into contention. Now it's up to Lenny. I did want to say, since we're in a tech pause, I think this is good context. This is it's a very meaningful game for Lenny, because he's been in this spot before. Last year, when he was on Team Secret, they're about to have a chance to take down DRX once again. Get subbed in on map.
Ini kenapa monitor ke arah, coy? Ih, kakak siapa tuh, Witch? Kakak siapa itu, bro?
Didn't go well. And I'm curious, can he shake that off again?
Ih, kakaknya ngumpet malu-malu, guys. Yang cantik kenapa malu-malu gitu ya?
That's one of the things a lot of people, talk about with the 6-man roster. It's very tough to get in the same state that everyone else has been on stage, right? Sure, you can warm up your aim, things like that, but the adrenaline, the moods, the audio, everything, you still got to readjust a little bit.
Well, you know, you talked about Surf being kind of a younger player, and maybe...
Wait, what did that say?
Not safe for broadcast.
Oh, okay.
At least he put a star in there. Thank you. But yeah, he had a really huge map on Bind, did Surf, and maybe he was really heating up to the point of potentially overheating, and then it's a really good time to just say, okay, you did your job. Let's bring in Lenny, see how that goes. And so far, they don't have a round win, but it's still very early on. Obviously, we're still here in the tech pause, just trying to figure out the monitor issue. We think it's a monitor issue.
Yeah,
that's gear issue.
That's what we assume here.
They're fiddling with the monitor.
Definitely on Mindfreak's side. Obviously, this being a knockout match, it's really up to all the players to really keep their form throughout this tech pause. You know, it does stink when it happens, but you gotta be able to get through it as well. Obviously, you never know when it's gonna strike.
You want to play? Let's play.
They are playing.
Yeah.
They are playing the game.
Now they are, as it looks like we get our nice little rotation from the magic camera in the sky.
There's a crow in Sunset?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two crows. Sorry.
Crow buddies.
Yeah, I've never seen them before, actually.
Yeah. When there's more than one crow, they become crews. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
It was still funny. I still liked it.
It is something like a
Bang, mulai, jangan main HP mulu. Ya, sabar, baru mulai, guys.
fun like that. English is fun. So is Valorant, and looks like Talon now. Obviously, this is not a buy round for them.
Please, beliau Iko, bro.
If they can make their mark in this round.
And the Outlaws strike again. Forsaken has some great.
Lihat si Alay, cok, pakai stinger, cok. Ngedes, ngeslide. Alay banget, cok.
Ever since their loss to Team Secret, it's still not a traditional.
Nice, something.
But, oh, something still gets killed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Forsaken being pressured here.
Mampus. Aduh, stunnya lama. Stunnya Neon lama banget ya. 7.000 tahun. Cok, kalau nggak sembayang apa gunanya? Bang, dapai, ngeri banget. Nice. Bang, audionya kecil. Iya, maaf ya, penonton.
So overall, obviously that round, you're back out on Eco. You didn't even invest in the armor. It seems like they straight expected the Outlaw as well. Don't want to let it snowball into consecutive rounds. Holy! Glad we saw that on replay.
Yep. That's something.
Overall, good backup for Mindfreak. But the previous 3 rounds, okay, so here comes the timeout. Because I was wondering, because I don't think necessarily the start to each round was necessarily bad. I also think the attempt at recovery wasn't too bad from Talon. It definitely wasn't similar to Lotus, where they were just getting absolutely just bulldozed all the way through. But the problem is that the adjustments on the defaults, the expectations of Paperx's next moves haven't quite been there. And now, curious to see. For the first couple rounds, you've really just been kind of sending it, going for the obvious route with a Neon. Go for early pressure with the movement, try to create space, try to get that first kill. All right, that's been stopped.
Pam 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 pam. Pam 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 pam. Pam 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 pam. Bisa, guys. Bisa ya? Iya, bisa, cok. Maaf dah.
I think there's still a couple extra mini steps that they can take in their adjustments. Just baiting out some early utility. Now the ops online. Divide continuing to be that primary opper. That's been a change as well. Something oftentimes even on the get-go picks up that op.
Yeah. It was a bit of both, I guess, on Lotus, right? Where you saw Device start off with it, but then something generally getting onto that on the Jet when he was playing that.
So there's that adjustment. The pop flash to force out the fall.
Si Uncle pakai AWP anjir. Uncle dapai.
Does thwart some of their ideas.
Yeah. And it's going to leave to here, it looks like. Flash comes on through from Forsaken.
Nice. Something kagak kena kamera terus. Killnya. Apa tuh yang
The quick flick, and now Governor trying to get in there, but he's not able to hit the shots.
Santai.
Cruz gets the one.
Santai dulu.
Gets the two.
Low, winnable.
Now the drone coming out here, a chance, but pretty low health. 36 and 14 health for the two members of Talon.
Yeah, combined just 50. Footsteps will be heard right at the edge, it seems, so you know the rotates are coming. I mean, yeah, Talon, it's a coin flip at this point, right? You heard from the shadows. You're just
Oh, di sini dia tuh nggak pakai 2 smoker, cuy.
Oh.
Wah, dapat tuh something.
Just gonna wait for the plants.
They don't suspect it.
Yeah, they just
Pam.
It's not gonna work out that way as the crash even. Not gonna hit him. Lenny just gets distracted. Something picking up the 3K, and that's now 5-0 for the side of Paper X.
Overall,
Hero Jali
it's not
nyusahin,
bad.
guys.
But here's the thing. Talon so far does seem to overly rely on Ban staying alive on the lurk. They really seem to rely on the lurks. It was the same thing on Vine. Surf going in.
Gitu
Now,
ngekill
winning a
aja.
lot of the duels made it
Lihat
easy.
angkel, bro.
But what happens when Ban
Gila.
can't? Wow, that's incredible. I mean, Jitboy's even first suspects the pop up, then he's trying to break the wall. Like, he's trying to do his best.
Pong.
But what happens when Ban can't win the
Jadi
fight? I mean, this is
terngiang-ngiang tuh.
nothing against Ban. It's something you're up against. You're not going to win 100% of those duels.
Yeah. All right. Gonna try to come in quick with Jing.
Gila,
Pushing
Jing.
out, does get traded back.
Gila lu
Balls come up,
gubernur.
Governor getting in there expecting this flank, but something's still gonna win the trade. He has been crispy today. As Mindfreak
Yang
also
ditembak
pushing
si
out
Lene,
2 kills.
Cok.
That leaves Cruz alone, and Cruz is dead. 6-0.
Yang ditembak si Lene, kasihan banget, parah banget itu, Cok.
Coach Frost has
Parah,
not shied
Cok.
away from also using 2 timeouts and a half. And here's the thing, Paper X, they now definitely have a read
Itu dapat,
on all
anjir.
the options that Talon has prepared so far. You know exactly how that Neon's going to be used. You know that it's always going to be used to
Lihat,
create
lihat.
space. You know you can punish it in a 1v1. They're always cutting off the
Ih,
potential
untung
for the
dapat itu
lurk.
loh.
You
Getar
know, Mid
dikit.
was taken over last round, so now they go out for the tiles push.
Aduh,
And
kasihan
Talon,
si
they're
Lene,
not covering their
anjir.
backs. They're a little bit too focused. They're tunnel vision into their own comp. Timeout doesn't come out just yet, but it is going to be a half buy here.
Yeah.
Ih, kena.
See Governor
Ih.
once again trying to get aggressive. Forsaken not
Ih,
able to
timingnya,
hit
Cok.
that. As they do push on
Balik
in,
gak sih?
Forsaken will
Aftershock?
push
Ada aftershock
all
loh.
the way to the back of the site, but getting some time now for the
jauh
rotation to
banget,
come
bro.
in. Governor trying to take away that
Retake
time
kah?
as he will get onto the site.
Sick lineup from something
Ih,
there
nggak ada
all the way
trap.
from mid to help try to delay.
Trapnya nggak dipasang. Trapnya nggak dipasang, Ben. Halo?
Start as Cruz gets the 1 kill. Van expecting this, but still not able to win against the Vandal.
Dijagain sih
And
tapi.
now everybody's just flashed up, and that's going to be an easy retake here for the side of Paper X. Only Mindfreak going down.
Yeah, the retake absolutely well prepared
Sengaja
with
buat
the Rolling
nge-delay.
Thunder. Governor does his best. He's close. I believe he wasn't hit by the Rolling Thunder,
Apa
but
sih
it's
Jing
just a
muter-muter,
stinger.
Cok?
And it's 2 people. The bullets spread out, it seems, and he can't get the spray down on one and
Guys,
instantly
izin
transfer to
sambil
the
nyender ya,
second.
guys.
Paper X just still having fun. And again, it's tough to beat someone who's having fun on their job right now. Well, he catches sight too. The Rolling Thunder is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, actually caught everybody.
Holy.
Jing's not overreacting.
Holy moly.
Still having fun. You know, we've seen 13-0s before.
now we have, yes.
We haven't seen 2 in the same
7-0,
series.
Cok.
That's true. I mean, we've never seen 2 in 1 year
Baru
since,
sadar gua.
Pacific Americas, all these divisions came through for the
Gua kira-
international leagues.
Yeah. Wow.
That's nothing against EME and China. I just
Kena lagi dong lu. Kena lagi dong lu.
They took
Kena
it
lagi dong.
Here comes Zip Boys. Okay, he's gonna pick up 2.
Nice trap,
Making
nice
things
trap.
interesting,
Nice.
but still advantage Paper X.
Pom 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 pom. Apa kan Bang? Bener apa yang aku bilang? Map 3 ya bantai-bantai. Bener Dani, bener.
How are they faster than a Neon comp? That's the most ridiculous part. I mean, they just instantly react, and the thing is Paper X, they have felt that they don't need to hard commit onto a site, right? They don't hard commit onto A main. They're not pushing out with the one way because they know Talon's gonna approach. There's no reason for a default for Paper X. They just have to be ready for
Norak banget sampai loncat.
Wasn't even necessarily clean.
Udah kayak main PB something anjir.
That time around, but it's still gonna be enough to
Timeout
pretty
lagi
much
dihabisin
sweep
kan
the
timeoutnya.
entire
Iya kan?
round. As now 8-0, that's
Nggak boleh jumawa nggak sih?
called here by Frost and by the side of Talon.
Analisnya lemes gitu guys. Yang pakai kacamata bro.
If they can stabilize here, it's not over. But I think they need a 4-8 at the very least. Because here's the thing: going to defense with a Neon, you're still gonna have to push out. It's still pretty plainly written what advantage you have. But hopefully that's something that Frost is talking to the team about right now, Coach Frost, about how the pattern's been the same. Okay, the Neon, it's a death ball through. The first contact, he's still going through it. Ban's still on the alert. There just hasn't been a separate setup right now for Talon and Paper Rex. It has made their job on the read very, very simple.
Yeah, you saw Frost there wasn't anger. It was more so just maybe a bit of frustration, disappointment mixed. It's rough because you looked so good on Bind, and it feels pretty obvious now that they prepared a lot for Bind, especially when you're going up against Paper X and you're not going to ban it. I think it makes sense. But the other two maps so far they've looked nothing like Bind. It's been the total opposite. So it's definitely been rough for Talon. Here's hoping for their sake they can pull it back. Paper X certainly looking a bit better here on this third map compared to the second one.
All right, you know that the Neon ult is up, and that's what Mind Freak is for. He is there to shut it down, and it's perfect. It's hard to check that close corner on the slide in.
They just
Oi, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean the
Mana
reads are super
pissnya
strong. And
kok?
here's the thing, Talon this time,
Ada
yeah, just
something,
like
halo?
variation.
Ih, geter.
The aim shaky as well.
Loh,
Trapped.
hit pushnya mati. Lah,
Nowhere to go on
dikunci
this
dong lu.
one.
Bener dikunci, cok.
Eventually they make it not very fair. Nice look away here.
Ih,
from
loncat.
Gonna win that.
Mas G Pro loncat gitu, guys. Pencet scroll kah?
Looking for something, but the double swing comes out. The ban picks up both.
Huge double swing out from Talon.
Winnable sumpah.
On the positions.
Dave ada ulti, kalau mau ulti.
No, it's an op. With the arrow?
Lah, fine.
What?
Okay. Just don't fire. There's too many people. Very nicely done for Ban, by the way. He is able to clutch that round.
Dave bengong.
It's the first round here for the side of Talon. And that gives them a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
Dave kenapa coy?
So, the start of this round, what's the difference that Talon makes after the timeout? They delay their initial util, wait for the push out, and it's a long-range lineup for the 0 point. It's on the other side. They're trying to start to mix things up. It's not a 4-1, it's not a dead ball.
Si Uncle, bro.
But is that enough? Because here's the thing, when Talon played against Secret, they eventually lost this map, but they had some great conditioning with their util. So I would hope the remaining rounds they're able to rekindle that just a little bit. Don't tunnel vision onto the Neon themselves. Uh-oh, the timing.
Oh, Jing trying to go back on that one, but now the blind's coming out. Talon, they're on the site here, 3 of them, but the spike is all the way back at the base. Still advantage to them, 5v3.
And something's just gonna hide out right here.
Kalah.
Man, finally some revenge after having a terrible time in that duel over by the B site.
Yep. Able to shoot them down pretty well in the last couple of rounds, you could say. Device still holding on to this operator. And he's
Nice,
going to
itu
pick
baik.
up one
Wish,
kill.
wish, wish.
By
Uy.
the second guy. And now is looking to get a bit aggressive. As he's not able to stop that bolt. Puts up a wall, though. He's going to try to swing onto them. He's got a little bit of help here from Mind Freak as well. That's
Nice
a second kill. And everybody else is in elbow.
And the res.
And the res.
Aduh, main Frika mati.
Boys, and that's going to be
Wah,
another
nice
from
try.
Ban. Make it 2.
Nice try, nice try,
3K
nice
here
try.
on the round. Talon, 2 rounds in a row. All it took was 2 timeouts.
There you go. 2 timeouts, 2 rounds. They don't have any more timeouts, though, so they're going to have to start to try to chain them. But Ban coming up huge when they needed it most. I mean, yeah, he was designated to just be solo lurk. So I don't know if you can really blame him for having a rough start to the map overall.
Wah, nice try.
But now he's getting on the board. He's starting
Pam,
to climb up.
pam, pam, pam,
However,
pam,
there's
pam,
still
pam.
0 kills, but here's the thing. If he can create space, if he can buy time, it's not the end of the day for a Neon, right? I don't know if he can focus on it too much. Obviously, yeah, you should probably win a duel here and there. But for now, you can't focus on that score if you're Governor. Your role is the bait. You're creating space. You're drawing out crosshairs. You're keeping them tied up on A site.
And Freak spots him, gets contact into mid. I throw out a Paranoia just in case they were looking to push. Throws up a smoke as well. Says
something ada ulti, Jing ada ulti, bisa retake.
And Talon will respect that. They're going to back away and maybe look for A.
Tapi dihancurin lelenya ntar.
Not recoverable. Paranoia
Sayul
also
lah,
out. Online,
homie.
the cooldown's going to return shortly.
Aduh, Jing.
But A site's not bad because the retake has been weakened. You know
Aduh,
they still have
main
the
freak,
op as well.
main freak, nice, main freak.
Unfortunate from Ban on the
Recon
lure.
ketahuan.
Now you know it's a hit,
Ulti,
right?
ulti
It's
Jing.
back to the same
Jing, ulti Jing.
default. And here's the show.
Oh, what? Amazing read from Talon. Isn't going to matter though as the
Wah,
detain
itu
comes
kena
in.
coy.
Well, they're not going to try to push onto that just yet.
Loh.
Still 40 seconds. There's still that threat for a rotate. We've been in this position before. The two callers on Talon.
Nice, 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 itu dia. Dingin bos. Dingin bro. Jerome dukung Paper Rex. Nggak berlaku guys, di e-sport nggak berlaku. Kali. Dia buat ini aja, buat yang olahraga aja bro. Olahraga beneran.
And that allows Paper X. Well, it allows Talon a chance to win that round, but Paper X to pick it up at the end.
All right, you got ults, Talon. If they want a chance, they gotta make it at the very least a 9-3.
Dizzy.
It's gonna be a little late, and it's gonna be mass. The Hunter's Tree actually mass Jing. It works against
Masih
them.
hidup loh Jing.
Now the spam's gonna take out the KO on the ground. Oh, he spots a barrel.
Kiri, nice.
Wasn't looking there right away, but still gonna get the kill.
Mau dilempar Rojali juga, cok.
So it's not 13-0,
Udah
but
bumbot
it is an
Rojali.
extremely strong half from the side of Paper X.
Muka lu kayak Vandal, muka lu kayak Stinger.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we've seen crazy things, but this is, again, 10-2's that scoreline when it is absolutely up to the pistol. And Talon will have to have cooked up something crazy because, I mean, they were close to winning that first pistol here on the attacking side, and that's where everything went wrong.
Defender ya mereka. Aduh, attackernya jangan sampai goyang ya.
On the defense. Now the obvious take again with that Neon, it's going to be the push out. It's going to be the easy control of A main, things like that. It does seem like they're not letting it get to him too much, but that's the best you can try right now.
Yeah. Well, still happy. I mean, they know Paper X is a very strong opponent, and the map isn't done just yet, so try to keep your cool until the very end, and we'll see. Paper X, best team in the world. We'll see about that. We'll see if they can make it into
Ih, kakak siapa tuh? Pirang.
Masters first and foremost. They gotta make it through Talon first.
Yeah, they gotta make it through Talon, and if they do, yes, they get a couple more chances. But all the opponents are looking pretty strong on the other side. Obviously, DRX next. Whoever wins this, the loser, of course, eliminated here from stage 1. They'll have to wait until stage 2. Do have the armor on for Governor. You got double relay bolt. So you've got options to push out. You've got options for a retake. But 3 ghosts at the end of the day.
Still, the fans cheering for the hope of a potential comeback here for Talon. We'll see if it happens. It's got to start here, as you mentioned. You got to get this pistol. Paper X with a Sage. We'll see just how fast they want to go here from the attacker's side.
This is a very fast rotate over from Talon. That recon has absolutely cleared A main. And they're even going to rotate the Neon over as well because they're expecting Paper X not going to go for the rotates.
Well, they're getting in here. The plant is going to come on in. Paranoia as well on the swing from Zip Boys. He only gets one. Grade 1 for one. Cruise in the back.
Nice trade. Wih. Apa sih Ceriwis? So asik Ceriwis. Right click. Aduh, klasik div kah?
Huge pistol win here for Talon. A little messy, but it's always going to be because it's been a while since we've seen a lot of the attacking with the Sage from Paper Rex. Back in the off season when they used, of course, the no duelist coming out, or not off season, but at kickoff. But the biggest thing is that Sage Wall suddenly makes B-site an absolute pain.
Kena
to go for
sate.
the retakes, right? It makes it very easy to just focus
Ada yang
in
pesen
on
sate
one
kah live
side.
chat?
Once you get the rifles, it's even better for the spray downs. So you have to go for the fast rotates. The retakes are going to be absolute hell for Talon. So the pistol, they're on the right track.
Yeah. See a couple of half armors from the side of Paper X as they will commit just a little bit. A couple of sheriffs too. But let's see what kind of angle they do want to take here on this eco. Just picking up some orbs. We're going to get that one. And just hoping that someone on the side of Talon gets out of position or they get a lucky pick through the smoke here in mid.
It's going to be a pinch through market. We can see the lineup here for the fault line all the way through. No one should get hit by it.
Lihat. Di stun, di wingman double stun sama flash.
They're trying to stop this one, and that they will.
Nice.
Gets the one kill, but
Lihat, Nora, lihat. Nora banget, Cok.
And now it's only Jing was able to pick up a gun, but not going to matter. Talon picks up the anti-go. 10-4.
They're on for it for now. Obviously, this bonus is going to be a big test because they're not going to have the best of the weapons to carry over. The Neon fine with the judge, though. So we saw it come to some decent value here. A little bit of payback against Paper Rex. Their own medicine on the defense. But Talon, you can see they're zoned in. They know it's a long road ahead. Half armors.
Lihat.
Make it short
Trapnya,
for
Cok.
Jit Boys.
Wah, trap buat Jing kah?
So they're just going to go for the stack on A.
Wah, trap buat Jing kah itu, bro?
We do have
Tembakin guys itu reconnya.
by himself. Very fitting. Another orb going to be picked up here by Jing, who is 3 away from his showstopper.
And Talon, I mean, they were hoping that it's going to be a different setup this time after they get pushed away by the
Ih, nggak kena trap ya?
It's going to be that B-side hit. Can they do any damage?
Nggak kena trap, Cok.
Plant down. That shock dart
Jebakan burung, guys.
A little bit off.
Yeah, not going to hit anyone. Jing here in this corner.
Oi! Oi!
Ooh, not the cleanest, and Ban got 2 headshots, and no Governor's in with the judge.
It hits.
Yeah, the relay bolt's coming out as well, and Jitboy's trying to get in there. He's trying to pick off someone. It's only Mind Freak on the back, and they will take him down.
Aduh, dapat bonus.
Talon, they pick up the bonus.
Holy! Jitboy started this with no armor and a shorty. How do they win this round? I mean, first of all, the paranoia, then the relay bolt starts.
Ih, apa sih bisa dapat anjing?
Two incredible shots. And Governor, I mean, they broke the wall earlier, so he can just go right in for the flank, and the Neon really helps once you break that wall. Yeah, that you are.
He's back, baby. He was 0 and 12
kills. Yes.
on the first half, so he is certainly back.
Yeah, absolutely. He needed that for sure. That draws out the timeout, and something they'll have to consider is that fast pinch in. Even with the wall, it's easy to get in, but it's not necessarily easy to hold. Also, I just want to say in that 2v2, I mean, Jitboy sacrificing a life, no armor, jumps up onto that little wall, creates a high-low. The threat, absolutely massive.
Yeah. Saw a little bit of anger out of Alex, but then a lot of OKs and a lot of, trying to calm things down.
One of my favorite clips is
Tema terakhir ini ya?
clips that VCT Pacific has released where something asks Alex why he has a headache, and he tells him it's okay to admit that he has a lot of stress. I was like, no, I just have a headache. He's like, no, it's okay. It's okay to say you have a lot of stress. Oh,
It
man.
is. It's okay. And I'm sure he does.
Oh, I mean,
It's a stressful job.
yeah, being a coach, I can't imagine. And now all Stinger is trying to pick up the speed. You've got Thrash. I gotta imagine it might even just be used by Paper X. They don't shy away from those.
This is a nice spot.
4 stinger, Cok.
That's a hard one to read. Still should get cleared out pretty easily with a paint shell, though.
Well, they're going to wait for now. Not pushing right off the rip.
Yeah, but look at this push out on B main. Absolutely cleared. You could leave the Neon, you could not. It doesn't matter. They're going to have to re-clear it anyway. So the rotates are going to come through. You still got to trap in mid. The only real place is market, and that's where they'll stay. They'll even send the drone out. Talon wants to commit to an over-rotate.
Dicek. Midnya nggak ada.
And now, I mean, they've got 3 guys on A with Vandals and 1 Odin.
Ya, di pisau nih. Ketahuan dah. 3 orang.
Like Talon's chances here.
Right, there's the 0 point off of the aftershock, but everything's still activated.
Nice, nice Jing. Aduh, low gitu darahnya nih. Nice. Belum masang. Allahu Akbar.
Huge couple of kills.
Wih.
Something. But the vision through the box and out to 1-on-1.
Darahnya 4.
It's another meaning to his name, and now he's just going to rotate over to B.
Aduh, 4 darahnya, Cok.
See if Forsaken can do it. I mean, he's got a rolling thunder if he gets the plant.
Oh iya, ada
This is not a guaranteed win for Lenny, no matter the health.
Yeah. Well, you see a blind
dia ke market.
And Lenny would be feeling like he's been right on this rotation.
Off your feet. Tung 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 tung.
Forsaken's gonna play for the spike tap.
Yeah.
Ya, dikejar ini. Oh, untung di recon. Nice banget di recon.
Yeah.
He hides from it.
Nice.
Picks it up.
Itu dia, bro.
Headshot 3K, and that's the thrifty. The play works out for Paper X.
Not like this if you're Talon. I mean, you do everything to try to hold. Do they get a little bit antsy with the flood? Maybe. Right? Sure, it's a eco or a half buy on the other side, but that flick, that's where it all goes wrong. The
For HP clutch, bro.
The confidence oozing out.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like the momentum was just getting started for Talon. They got that bonus. They were beginning to get things going here on the second half.
Langsung di recon situnya.
And just like that, an incredibly close round. I mean, Forsaken on 4 health, winning it, just barely picking up a thrifty. It's going to give a lot of momentum over the side of PRX. So now, Jing's going to run and divide this straight back.
Lihat si Jing. Si Jing nih.
Raze was just the beginning. Jing was just the bait. I mean, Talon thought they had the read onto the Raze. But it's much more than that.
Oh, ngeding. Si Jing dengar suara tap orb langsung terbang, Cok. Lucu banget lagi. Kata Jing. Orbnya di tap, gue terbang, bro. Tengit ya, Cok.
Again, that sage wall starts to become that pain. Talon, are they just gonna go for the save?
Ah, kocak lu.
I mean, it seemed like they were.
Dihidupin, Cok.
So it seems like
Gak ada duit ya?
that the res was coming and he wanted to punish it, then maybe get out. But the dizzy lands right on his head.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they were calling for the save. I mean, this is Talon's making the tough decision to give match point.
I mean, at this point, pretty difficult, especially after the res.
Next run ada Rolling Thunder.
And that means that Jing, he gets res, he picks up his own gun. And he's going to be ready to go right for the match point, as you mentioned. 12-5 will be the scoreline here for Paper X.
Atau enggak kalau misalkan dapat side, tinggal post plan, pakai ulti.
Lost by Paper X, Talon with a big comeback. And now Paper X on match point on Sunset.
They gotta pull out all the heroics because you still got that rolling thunder.
Tapi kalau ngeplan, Sofanya belum mati.
You got no timeouts.
Di panah, Cok. Ada ulti juga Sofanya anjir.
It's not the best collection of weapons here for Talon. Cruz could get his no command.
Set up default.
Go for a mid push out. Shrouded step, it will get heard.
Oh, spotted. There's a rolling thunder. It is going to
Itu dia. Satu lagi cek sih. Nice.
It was never about.
Woi.
Oh, okay. Cruz with a bit of a comeback. The back to 4th trades in mid. Actually, at the end of the day, going the way of Talon.
Itu tadi Rolling Thunder kemana ya?
Paper X is thinking far ahead, right? It's a 2v3. If we lose, whatever, not a big deal. They're already on match point, but they'll start to rack up those oath orbs, see if they can get a second
Enable
one
bannya low. Bannya low.
And now they're just relying on 1v1s.
Oke, bikin bingung.
Break apart
Anjing, mid gua kebuka. Aduh guys, harus gimana ini guys? Liatin gak sih midnya? Oh enggak ya, dapat for second. Enggak dong anjing. Aduh, backside-nya. Kontak backside. Aduh.
A round win over the side of Talon, keeping themselves alive, 12-6.
That's the best way to put it. Alive, but oh so barely. Because look at their econ. The full buys aren't
12.
the full armor at the very least. I mean, Crew's very quick on the backup because otherwise
Emang 12 ya?
amazing setup by Paper X.
Udah 12 tadi ya?
You know, the Rolling Thunder makes it look like it's going to be a pinch through mid, but it's always been about tiles and Mind Freak.
Belum bisa closing guys. Gua kira masih 11, Cok.
Gonna try to go maybe for another push out onto B main. Clear that out nice and early. Worried about the early blast packs.
Somebody's here, but the relay bolt's gonna catch him.
Oh, that's huge.
Ting is just dead. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The rest of the team.
Stunnya lama banget itu. Stun Neon sekarang kayaknya lebih lama dah.
Okay, so starting to turn into some more trap plays here from Talon. It's a good adjustment, but maybe it's just a bit too late. The wide swing. What a classic. Just something.
Oi, per second yang bener lah. BG something, nice timing.
Exact wrong time. Very unfortunate for him.
BG somethingnya di flash, Cok. Mau masang Azizi.
And this A site.
Enggak ya?
They do have a couple of guys over here. I mean, something's gonna clear in the back
Untung
of the
nggak ada
site
orang.
With this thrash.
Balik lagi ikannya.
Clear all the insides.
Yeah.
Paranoia will hit though.
Well, still able to try to get this one down, but now the Hunter's Fury looking for a pickoff, and he will
Aronnya kena aja.
freak. A chance now.
3v3.
Spike planted.
The wall's been spotted, but you do have the flank. You know that they don't have any trips. He gets the tag too. That's huge.
Yep. Null commands. And now a big chance here for the side of Talon on this retake. Something is on the site. We've got trying to play elbow. Here's Forsaken.
Ah, nice trade dah.
Chip Boys does
One more closing nggak sih, Bang? Bang, closing, Bang.
the retake 12-7 now.
Oh, didn't quite finish the res there, Lenny. A little bit too excited to go and finish the defuse.
Defuse kocak.
The retake happens fast enough, so they'll be able to try to stack on.
Masih lama kocak.
Once again, Talon, they'll need everything, every bit of help. But this, first of all, a great adjustment to go for trap plays over on B.
Main Surika kena.
Also answer back. They read that it's going to be meant to be a fast rotate, right? It's a push out on one side with the Neon. Expect the fast rotate to cut off the back.
Udah habis ya timeout ya?
But at the end of the day, the double hold from Chip Boys and Lenny. Heroic stuff for Talon. And once again, just meant to be a delay over by the A site. You've got a trip there. They're leaving mid empty. Paper X hasn't quite figured that part out. I think they have an inkling of it, but they haven't really abused it just yet.
Well, let's see what they do this time around. For now, just hanging out at A lobby and thinking about a push on in there. But as you mentioned, you know, if they wanted to get a little bit frisky in mid, they absolutely could. For now, it's just Forsaken looking in that direction, and they're not going to commit to it. Another push out here from the side of Governor. He's going to get some information over outside of B. And they're going to check mid as Paper X are pushing towards A.
Yeah, so what Talon does throughout this is make Paper X feel like they had all the control, right? They put up a flash drive for mid, they send the recon in B, and then they make Paper X cower in fear, and now they've taken full control. The retake is already set up. All Talon needs to do is wait. Spring the trap.
Nice try there from Ban, but it's not quite going to land. Now that should be a denial.
Aduh, wingman-nya kebunuh terus, coy.
They have to set up the wall here to make sure this happens. No break on the wall actually from Ban.
Nice, Bang for guys. Oi, flank.
Flank coming in from the second. He's got his ult. He picks up a second. Trying to get on there really quick. The relay bolt should get a third, and yeah, it does. Now he's getting on top of Mind Freak, and Mind Freak is going to win that trade.
Time. They got to play for time.
10 seconds.
It's Mind Freak.
Oh! And they wait for the peak. 2v1. Talon, a third round in a row, and a chance
I feel like we're in like round 40 of an overtime because we're just going into heroic mode from both sides. I mean, Governor, this relay bolt, the triple Lutz, and then the jump in with
Anjir
the
lah,
zap.
nyusahin banget stunnya coy.
Absolutely
Nice
crucial.
try, ya, nice try.
And that's the thing about the Neon. I mean, these are the adjustments. You're probably wishing, if you're a Talon fan, that you saw both
All right,
sides.
here we go.
It's really hard to see who called the timeout if you just look at the cams
Apa tuh?
here.
Pelatihnya ngomong apa nih guys?
Frost, I mean, I think for Frost, Coach Frost, he can
If
feel
we
it,
lose,
right?
we lose, guys.
It's possible. It's still
Nggak ya?
really tough because you can't ever make a
Enak
mistake.
aja lose
But you're starting to
lu.
see the cracks.
He's got his hands up now, and now it's Alex who's slapping his own hands.
It almost looks like they're talking to each
Ini
other.
Iko.
I love the
Kalau nggak
conversation up there.
thrifty,
Oh, man.
But
9.
there's obviously a lot of emotions because Paper X, they're on the brink of just okay, you finally
Harus
got through Talon eventually
closing
put up a great
sih.
fight, but
Harus closing bro kalau udah 10 bro.
easily, and it's really rough, and now Talon can
Kalau
feel like
nyampe
they're
10
mounting a comeback.
bisa
So
comeback.
Frost is getting animated, he's getting excited.
Paper X, they haven't had to deal with this kind of pressure in a long time. You know, getting knocked out early in a regional tournament. I mean, obviously Pacific, it's an international league, but you know, it's starting to really feel like your region, right? This is where you're stationed. They've never been pushed out early.
Enggak ini. Enggak nge-save. Beli dia.
Well, Talon still need to pick up 4 rounds to force an overtime, and then, maybe then, pick up a win. But let's see.
Oh!
So he's going to be taken out.
I mean, both teams had the exact same read about A short. Trying to compete for that. Oh, Governor!
Governor gets out there, a couple of headshots, very nice.
Lagi dong, pick lagi dong.
But look at Ban, he's already here. The flank's covered. No reason to fight this. Cruz even wins it.
Astagfirullah.
Something just looking for the peak, and now thinking about it, but it's gonna be bad.
Astagfirullah.
On the rotation, he picks up another kill and another round.
Gak punya duit,
for
Cok.
Talon. It's 12-9.
Momentum definitely on the side of
Ntar
Talon
guys,
at this
pegel
point.
guys.
The fact that you both get the read for a fast round and you're able to win it out in duels. I mean, Talon, they make ever such micro adjustments to just not overheat. And they're able to win it, right? They bait Jing
Muka lu
to
nice.
dive in just a bit further. The counter paranoia comes out, and that's enough to keep their own teammates alive. Now half armor is on the side of Paper X. They're getting desperate. They want to try to get as many rifle rounds as possible in the remaining possible 3 before overtime.
One suppressed.
Oh masih bisa beli ya? Oh half armor guys. Half armor. Half armor.
Picks up his Thrash.
Yeah, Thrash and Showstopper. It's a lot to work with. The Thrash could be used as bait over by B-side as well. But with the setup
Aduh,
from
setup.
Talon right now, they've got full mid control. Defense never really gets mid control on Sunset, so this is massive. The drone even gonna check for 2.
Meanwhile, the peek out from Cruz. He gets the headshot. There's the paranoia. Jing desperately trying
Jing,
to
ult
hold
Jing.
on by
Please,
himself,
Jing.
but now he's
Ult
gonna
nggak sih, Jing?
back out. That spike
Enggak ya?
in a very awkward spot.
Yeah,
Oh,
and now
nunggu-
this
nunggu
isn't a great
dapat.
spot to hold for Talon either.
Nice.
Because there's too many
Nice.
holes. And they're letting themselves get picked apart. They were trying to retreat. They understood that it was a risk.
Aduh.
Now it's up to Cruz. They have to play for 1v1s. You're down to a 2v3.
Udah nggak ada
Spike
recon
is
lagi.
down. The rotate has to happen.
DZ maksudnya.
Oh, this is getting really tense.
Nice
The
guys.
showstopper just to open up any potential corner. And he's gonna
Diajak nih, apalagi nih? Satu-satu lagi nih.
the charge. They do push in towards A as a team.
Ini bener nggak sih skornya? Closing kan?
I mean, Chip Boys, all you can do is wait and hope, but it's never gonna come.
10 seconds left.
Kok casternya nggak rame bro?
Now they know it has to be the far wraparound.
Chip Boys just has to run over and pull off one of the biggest clutches of his life.
They can just all stay stacked on the side as well, and now they hear him coming around.
Yep. He has to go fast. I mean, it's not a lot of time, but Chip Boys has to get it done, but the triple stack gets it done instead. Paper X will move on to the next round of playoffs.
What a heartbreak
Udah gitu dong.
for it to be the last round for Talon. The read to take over mid. They took down the spike, and they made the right call. It's a dangerous spot to hold. But Paper X Defy. It's always Defy. When Paper
Anjir
X
menangnya
gets
cok.
pushed to the edge,
Kayak nggak epic gitu guys.
Carries might be the other names, but but Devi
GG. French Club, iya, nih lo liat nih. Gimana nggak kepelet bro?
This year we'll see them later on, but Paper X will move on to the next round. We'll see
Yaudah,
just
guys.
how far they are going to go. Props to Talon.
Sampai interview gue udahan bro.
It's kind of funny, all things considered, we still had a 13-0 in this series.
Yes.
Which did go the way of Paper X.
Kayak komentatornya kayak nggak seru gitu cok. Komentator caster. Boleh pakai DSLR. Ya kan bukan konser ya.
Like you said, Valdez, I think that is the applause that Talon deserves, but for now, they will have to exit the stage. And Paper X will continue to vie for center stage. The spotlight.
Meskipun ngeri dikit bro, ngeri dikit nggak masalah bro.
Paper Rex making everybody sweat just a little bit, especially with that amazing comeback from Talon. But all is well, or all is in balance so far in Pacific. Paper Rex still continue. Quack, there's no need
Kapan
to
jadwal selanjutnya?
Talon. This was, I say, like they were totally redeeming themselves from that 13-0 earlier. This is a good comeback.
Yeah, I mean, they were redeeming themselves from that. I mean, I think they already did that fine. They were really just redeeming themselves from another,
4 Mei. Anjir langsung main besok. 4 Mei, 5 Mei.
Get 13-0'd again,
Huh?
twice in the same series. Like that just seems so impossible. And it was. They finally were able to get some rounds on board, but that first half.
Wah, anjir langsung upper final cuy. Besoknya Minggu.
I mean, it was a solid.
Aduh Minggu nggak bisa lagi gua.
To come out swinging, get those wins, but having to burn those 2 timeouts early.
Bisa sih jam 3, tapi nggak bisa guys. Nggak bisa gua keluar. Thank you ya teman-teman yang udah pada yang udah pada nontonin bro. Thank you guys. Thank you bro. Yang udah pada like juga. Yang udah nonton dari awal sampai akhir cuy. Menang guys. Anjir langsung upper final cuy. Besoknya ini lolos langsung Shanghai. Bang telat nggak? Lu telat kocak. Langsung Shanghai ini. Fix Shanghai bro.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, and it's a little bit of a punishing, schedule or something, right? The format, but it has to be done. They are the gatekeepers, and at some point,
ini DRX.
Talon really is.
DRX lagi kuat lagi guys. Udah buka celana nih, ngapa jadi buka celana? Kocak dong Aldo cok. Masa lu engas liat muka gue?
Oh yeah, the first half. They definitely came back on that second half. Once they were on defense, those trap plays on the B side, Governor, Shit Boys, they were diving in with such confidence. And yeah, those timeouts that they started to call, Paper X called them, but you could
kelamaan sih, gua ngantuk cok. Thank you semua yang udah pada nonton, yang udah pada tap sama yang udah pada tap yang udah like, yang udah pada mampir sama yang top donatur, top Saweria. Thank you banget udah selalu support gua. Thank you bro. Sampai jumpa di live streaming selanjutnya. Bye bye. Thank you guys. Gua udah live berapa jam ya? Pagi gua live 3 jam. Siang 3 jam. Ini 9 jam cok. Thank you semuanya teman-teman. Bye bye. Thank you guys.
떠나는 길에 네가 내게 말했지 너는 바라는 게 너무나 많아 잠깐이라도 널 안 바라보면 머리에 불이 나버린다니까 나는 흐르려는 눈물을 참고 하려던 얘길 어렵게 누르고 달리던 밤양갱 내가 먹고 싶었던 건 달리던 밤양갱 떠나는 길에 네